Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tommy Temper Show, coming to you live from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Hey, good to see everyone in the chat, and we're live. Well, if you're watching us live, otherwise we're not live. That's the way it goes. Hey, we're your new mainstream media. You know, you thought that mainstream was mainstream, but now the Tommy Temper Show is mainstream media. Hey. But, you know, we're not the typical mainstream media that is so far left biased that, it makes communism look good. We're like your average right wing. But, you know, some people call me like a far right. I heard somebody call me a far right and like anti, different people from different places and whatever. Put it this way. The Tommy Temper Show and Tommy Temper loves everyone. I don't care if you're Indigenous or Muslim or if you're whatever, from any country in the world. Whether you're from Iran, whether you're Persian from Iran, or whether you're, from France or any place in the world, Africa, it doesn't matter. We like everyone on the Tommy Temper Show. We're not racist here at all, but, people will label you with stuff like that, which is like incorrect. We just like to be a nice person and, all encompassing and loving to everyone out there in the world. Of course I love my wife, but, in a different kind of a loving way, we try and like everyone out there. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, or where you come from. We are the most inclusive, hey, and people call me homophobic and stuff like that. Even people in the LG community, I don't care what you want to do, We're the most inclusive channel out here, and I'm the most inclusive person. So as long as that's, prefacing the channel here as an opener, that's exactly what we're doing here. That being said, we do have a situation happening here with Alberta independence here right now, and as you can see by the ticker here, well, not the ticker, but the little thing down here, the breaking news: Alberta independence is being blocked by the Indigenous Liberal Judge Court order. So right now we're not going to have an independence vote. Apparently, the judge has said that we need to consult with the Indigenous people in Alberta. So, well, I guess we need to consult with them, consultation. Let's have a talk about it. Well, okay, so once we talk about it, well, then we can go ahead with the vote to have Alberta independence. So let's hope that happens. So anyways, that's the big deal with that. Oh, but there's a guy by the name of Tommy Lakuzek. And people are saying, not me, I'm not saying this, but people are saying apparently that he's lying to Albertans because he did call for a referendum, not a vote in the legislature. So let's play this little bit here from Tommy, who is with the Forever Alberta group. You've got these people that want Alberta to stay in Canada, and Tommy Lakuzek is the leader of that group. Let's watch this little bit here and see what he has to say about whether or not he should be calling for a referendum.
Nearly 500,000 Albertans have not signed this petition to have a referendum, but wanted this question to be voted on in the legislature.
And if
so we're
we
not
get enough signatures, which I have no doubt in my mind that we will have a referendum. I have no doubt in my mind that we will have a referendum. We will have a referendum. We will have a referendum. We will have a referendum.
So apparently he's saying that he did not say that we will have a referendum, and he just wanted the legislature to vote on, whether or not Alberta should stay in Canada. So there you go. There's the clip with him actually saying that Alberta will have a referendum. So let's have a referendum. Frankie 5 Angels in the house. Thanks a lot for subscribing to the channel. Do appreciate that. Yeah, I did have 9,400 subs, but we dropped down a little bit on my last one. Channel Reviews is now subscribed. Hey, how come you weren't subscribed before? That's kind of weird. How did channel reviews become unsubscribed? Thanks a lot for the subscriptions, everyone. Oh, yeah, by the way, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and give us a thumbs up. The thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. We like to see a few thumbs ups on the channel. The more, the merrier, you know what I mean? Oh, hang on. I just have to turn on a couple of switches in the background here, too, which I can only do like once I go live on the channel here. So just give me half a second to go into the back end here and flip on a couple of switches. Just take me a couple of seconds to do that. Thank you, everyone, for piling into the channel here and checking us out. We do appreciate that. Let me just save that. Looking good. Let me head over to my channel and click on the live button, and let me just see my live here. Bring it up on the screen. I don't want to be having it running in the background because I don't want to have it being an extra person watching. But I will give myself a thumbs up. What? Only 2 thumbs up? Come on. Come on, you guys. Let's see if we can pump those thumbs ups a little bit there. I gave it a thumbs up, and we're at number 3 there right now. I know that it's, late at night here. We're doing our stream late at night, so we don't expect there to be like 100 people watching. But we will have literally hundreds of people watching the stream after it's already processed and up there after the live. Let's see if we can get a few people on the panel here tonight. Let's do a panel show here tonight. So, yeah, we'll see if that can happen. Who's that poop smoke in there? It's like the Game of Thrones ice wall. Yeah, pretty much. I like, right behind the wall. The wall. Yeah, let's play Another Brick in the Wall. Fry TV in the house. I don't believe in stuff, but I know that there's a life past the ice wall. Ice wall? What are you guys talking about? Ice wall. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, yeah, by the way, I went into Crackhead Kenny's, I'd hate to say that in my channel here. Kenny's room over there. And I just said, basically said a little hi thing to him there. I said, if you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the prize. And he promptly banned me in his channel because he's still mad at me because I didn't ban him. Hey, tell Crackhead Kenny that he's not banned in my channel, that Tommy Temper did not ban him from my channel. He's more than welcome to come over here. All I did is remove his wrench for saying some crap. And, of course, I don't really, you guys know that. Like, I watch the occasional chat of what's going on here, but, like, I'm not a kind of a guy that's just sitting here glued to the chat watching every single thing that everybody is saying. What happened is he had a wrench in my channel, and then him and Troy, I think, started going at it a little bit, fighting a little bit in the chat. So I took Kenny's wrench away from him, so he got butthurt about it and whatever. Did a whole stream on Troy and I doing a bunch of rap stuff and whatever. It's just a little bit ridiculous, if you know what I mean. So I wish that Kenny would feel welcome over here. He's welcome to come over here. Don't get butthurt. Don't let things get to you. Don't hold grudges against people forever. Just, let life go on. Life goes on, and everyone is happy at the end of the day. Hey, I like to be happy, and I hope you do too. Let's find some more clips and stuff or whatever here. Alberta cannot stop a referendum from happening. Let's listen to Keith on this one here. Keith is pretty good. He's one of the voices of Alberta independence, and let's hear what he has to say about Alberta independence.
What's absolutely clear, and I've said this many times in many interviews, is that I anticipated there would be legal challenges against the petition because there's forces that want to stop Alberta from becoming independent. But the critical thing that I would emphasize is that at no time has the Premier, the government of Alberta, ever needed a citizen initiative petition in order to hold a referendum on independence.
Right.
In the same way that the Premier didn't need a citizen initiative petition to announce, as she has, that there will be a referendum on questions relating to the Senate, judge appointments, and immigration in a referendum. That's inherent authority that the Supreme Court of Canada has confirmed. That's not disturbed in any way by this decision. So it remains wide open for the Smith government and her cabinet and her caucus to decide to be responsive to over 700,000 Albertans who've gone out of their way to sign various petitions saying, we want to have a referendum on this. So I'm optimistic that's exactly what will happen.
There you go. So, yeah, well, you know, right now we've got the Indigenous court order sanctioned by a Liberal judge to stop independence, stop counting the signatures. Basically, we got signatures for the plebiscite, and they were basically kiboshed. They said that, hey, you guys didn't consult with the Indigenous people, so because of that, the judge says that they won't allow the petition signatures to be counted. I think that it's hogwash. I think that the judge is overstepping her boundaries and misinterpreting the law, and many other people think that as well. But I'm not adverse to say, okay, chiefs, let's sit down and let's talk about it and see what you have to say. And if they say yes or no, oh well. I think that the great numbers of people that want independence compared to the number of judges there are out there will probably overweigh or outweigh whatever's going on there. So we'll see what happens there. Let's bring a layer up here. I've got layers on this whole system. Layers. Let's bring the chat up here. I like to see the chat on the main screen here, a little bit of the chat here anyways, just so we know that there's actually people in the chat that are with us here tonight. Good to see everyone. We've got right in there, Gary Wade in there. Hey, Gary Wade, good to see you in there. Thanks a lot for popping in. And we've got a lot more people popping in there. Who else is in there? We got Lazara in there and Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Who else was popping in here? Let me go back a little bit in the stream here. We've got, Poop Smoke is in there. Whoever that is, I don't know. We've got Fry TV in there. We've got Turquoise in there. Hey, Turquoise, good to see you. We've got Carrie, good old Carrie in there. We got LC in there. Not sure who LC is that in there. Which LC is that? I don't know if that's Lincoln Kane or who that is in there. But good to see everybody in there. BKL is in there. Lots of good people in the chat saying hi to us there. Good to see everyone in there. Let me just check out let me see how this works out here. If I bring something like this on here, does it over? Oh yeah, it goes over top of everything else that's on the screen there. SCN Security in there. Hey, good to see you there, bro. Nice to see hanging in there. And let me just bring in a few more clips here, and then we'll drop a link and see if we can do a bit of a panel there tonight, see what's happening. Let's see, we got this guy here, and the title to this one, this guy is head of the New Democratic Party, who's like like a far left organization. The New Democrats federally want to see everything nationalized, like grocery store, like New York, you know what New York is like. Oh, we need government grocery stores and government internet and government phones and government housing and government, blah, 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 and then everyone's going to work. Who are you going to work for? Oh, the government. Oh, okay. Yeah. Or not work. These guys are really in favor of people not working, socialism, that kind of crap. Nenshi, he's like bad. This guy here, Marty up north, says, this guy's a disgusting human being. I want him to take his 2 pensions and disappear. Whoa, what does he have to say here that's so terrible?
A judge ruled what Danielle Smith is doing on separatism is illegal. But also, she gave Danielle Smith an out, an escape clause, a get-out-of-jail-free card. She could have put this separatist garbage to bed once and for all. She didn't. She tripled down.
Hang on. Did he say separatist garbage? I'm a seppy. I'm a separatist. I'm like one of those people they call a treasonist person, whatever. It's treason or whatever. Traitor. You're a traitor, whatever. A seppy. But did he call me garbage? Nenshi is my MLA in my little area that I live in here, Old Strathcona, in Edmonton. He's the dude. He has an office blocks away from where I live. I'm going to take my megaphone and go over to his office and call him out for him trying to call me garbage. Really, honestly, I'm going to make a video out of it too. Wow, that's a good thought on that one. I have a megaphone and I have a camera and I know where his office is. And I'm going to go over there and I'm going to give him a royal blast for calling us garbage. Let me replay that again. What? What did you say? You bumbling fool, you.
She gave Danielle Smith an out, an escape clause, a get out of jail free card. She could have put this separatist garbage to bed once and for all. But she didn't. She tripled down on it. And why did she do that? Because look, Danielle Smith would not have been the premier without the support of separatists. She owes them. The separatist leaders claim that she told them that they didn't have to get the signatures, that regardless of what the court said, regardless of...
Hang on, we got 300,000 signatures. That's not just a piss in a bucket, Nancy. What the hell are you talking about? And then you're calling us garbage for taking all the time to legally getting signatures as required by law, following every little line in the book, and you're calling us garbage. Shame on you.
What the Indigenous people say. She would give them their referendum this fall. And now the courts have said she can't. Even her own cabinet ministers are telling her to end this separatist nonsense. But she can't.
No. Why should you end anything? We're doing everything 100% legally by the frickin' book. Just because you don't like it, don't like what we're doing, that doesn't give you any out on calling us garbage. Like, shame on you, Nancy. You're the piece of garbage. Like, I don't like calling people names at all, but when politicians start using, you know what? There was this lady by the name of Sarah Hoffman, NDP, in his party that alluded to Albertans being sewer rats. Do you remember that? So now we're sewer rats and we're garbage. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll never vote for you ever, ever, ever.
Because she's got nothing else. We're in a cost of living crisis. Mums and dads can't afford food for their kids. The price of gas is out of control. The public health care system...
Yeah, because of the frickin' liberals who are lefties just like you. That's why everything's out of frickin' control.
...has collapsed. The public education system is following fast. There's no job...
Yeah, because of overpopulation, mass immigration, because of the liberals. Like, this guy is, like, delusional.
...jobs for our kids, there's no economic plan for the future, and they massively increased your taxes. But Danielle Smith doesn't want us to talk about that this summer. She wants us to talk...
No. Well, yeah, we should talk about it, but that's a liberal. Those are all liberal issues. Those aren't provincial Danielle Smith conservative issues. He's blasting the conservatives is what he's trying to do here, which, I find it very shameful.
...about the deal she made with the separatists, so we're distracted from this terrible, terrible government. This is a dangerous game. She's putting our very country at risk. The judge gave her an escape route.
No, she isn't. Well, yeah, you might say that it's not her fault. Don't blame the Premier of Alberta for what's going on. This is something that is a legal process that was set up by the government of Canada. And we're just following the rules. There you go. And if we want a vote, then we should get a vote. It's called democracy. But apparently you're not for democracy, Nancy. You're for, like, what? Socialism or communism or dictatorship. I don't know what the hell you want.
So Danielle Smith, cancel the referendum and get back to work.
No, don't cancel dick all. Like, you're the only one that wants that. You don't want democracy. Canceling the referendum is not letting democracy flow through as it normally should. Okay, so what we should do is cancel you, Nancy, and your NDP party. You guys are the most imbecilic people on the earth. And I laugh at the people that follow the NDP. They're like, he's like blowing the flute. He's the fluter. And he's got the mice or whatever, the rodents following behind him there. That's all that he's all about. Yeah. The Alberta NDP needles, what? Yeah, we're not even going to say it. Oh, get that off the screen. Get it off the screen. Oh, man. I almost threw up there a little bit in my mouth there saying that. Oh, Nancy. Yeah, I'm going to go outside of his office with my bullhorn and bullhorn him a little bit there, give him a little piece. Of course, he's not going to be in his office. He probably never is in his office because I don't even think he doesn't even live in Edmonton. He lives in Calgary, I think. So yeah, he probably doesn't even sit in his office at all. I go outside of his office, bullhorning him, and he's not even going to hear me. So there you go. Let's see. Huge Angus Reid poll. What? A new poll coming in here. Check this out. Angus Reid poll. I'm liking this one here. I'm liking what I see here. The poll. What does the poll say? The poll says if there was a referendum, if there was a separation referendum, how would you vote? And the poll says, what? 65% would say separate, and 29% would say stay in Canada. No wonder Nancy doesn't want the vote to happen. Wow. Those numbers are looking huge. Huge. I hope this poll is right here. It says Angus Reid poll survey, February 2nd to 6th. Holy mackerel. Well, if this is real, I would actually agree with this because I would say that 30% of the people want Alberta to stay in Canada. 30% of the people, signed the plebiscite, saying, yes, we want to leave Canada. And the other 30% of the people were like, no, I'm not going to sign, but, undecided, or I'm afraid to sign, or I think my bank account might get frozen, or I might go to jail if I sign, or whatever, or I don't want people to know that I'm signing because, my name might be somewhere and my boss might find out about it or whatever. But when you go into a polling station and you're like behind, a closed area and you're going to sign, nobody can tell whether you're signing yes or no. Well, those number of people you can see on this poll are part of that 65%. So, wow, this is like looking absolutely great. We're liking those numbers. Loving those numbers. That's a good thing. I like that. Oh, what do we got here? We got some great music. Great music for this show. Alberta music to keep you going here late at night on a Monday.
In the shadow of the Rockies,
how's everyone doing
where
tonight?
The wild winds blow,
hey, in the chat, give us where you're from. Tell us where you're from in the chat there. Type in where you're from. We'd like to know.
So fine. Grain fields waving golden, canola blooming in the sunshine. But Ottawa's taking our billions, unfair equalization gain, sending it east to Quebec while we shoulder the blame. No more pipelines blocked, no more carbon tax chains. We're done with the feds breaking free from their reins.
Alberta freedom,
ringing loud and true. Woo. Sovereignty calling, independence coming through. No more woke liberalism.
That's right.
Stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cutting loose from the strife. Rocky Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand.
Alberta freedom.
Let the anthems roll. We're building our nation forevermore. From the prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high.
Bring in our next bit here.
We're sick of the traders calling us traitors.
Okay, yeah, we got Adam Waterhouse, Executive Chairman of the Alberta Strathcona Resources Industry. Okay, this is a good bit here. Has a different view that they have not seen evidence that actually buyers will pay a premium for decarbonization or decarbonized oil. There's another party which is basically the investment community. Yeah, this is the whole thing, is that, from the federal level, they're trying to carbon tax oil. They're trying to, carbon tax the companies that are producing the oil. They're trying to just, make oil way, way, way more expensive. And then they're calling it decarbonized oil. I don't know if you ever heard this bullshit at all. It's like net zero, Mark Carney, garbage type stuff. And yeah, it's just not cutting it with what I have to say. Let's listen to this bit here where we've got a guy on here that is going to talk to CBC about that.
What did you make of that industrial carbon pricing that they've agreed to?
I'd say it's a good news, bad news story. The good news is because they've reached an agreement, really the Prime Minister has pivoted Liberal policy, which for the previous 10 years hadn't been very supportive of the oil industry.
Yeah, and what this is that the federal government has said to Alberta, get this, because this is what I think it is. We've done such a good job at scaring Ottawa into thinking that Alberta is going to separate, that Mark Carney right away ran to Alberta and said, "Oh no, we'll build an oil pipeline. We'll build an oil pipeline, but you have to increase carbon taxes on the corporations, and we want net zero, and we want you to pump, build $2 billion plants that are going to suck CO2 out of the air and pump it into pipes and oil wells, ex-oil wells or whatever, into the ground, and do all kind of bullshit like that. Like we're gonna save the planet. We got to save the planet if you guys want a pipeline, and we're not going to do anything with a pipeline until let's say maybe September 2027. Like, come on, it's like 2 years from now. Like, why not say, hey, we're going to start a pipeline in 1 month or something like that? Why 2027? Like, that's all bullshit. Nobody believes Carney. Carney's full of bullshit. He's all carbon Carney. All he wants to do is carbon us. And I really don't like the fact that Danielle Smith agreed to this whatsoever. The people that put her in power said no agreements with Carney on any kind of climate change bullshit. So, and that's another reason why Alberta wants separation, because we want to get away from carbon Carney. And all it is taxing and sending money to Ottawa. This carbon taxing and all the rest of this carbon bullshit, it makes Brookfield richer, which he has shares in Brookfield, well, owing to him. And he's basically, sucking money out of Alberta. And we don't want to have anything to do with that. You leave our oil alone. You leave our oil pricing alone. You won't leave our income from oil alone. Leave it for Alberta. That's why we want to separate from Canada, because that's the only way of getting away of Carney and his clowns sucking a whole bunch of revenue out of Alberta. And who the hell wants to pay $10 more per barrel? It's going to outprice our oil. Nobody's going to buy our oil because it's overpriced. It's going to be the most expensive oil in the world with all this carbon bullshit stuff, taxation that they want to put on it. It's ridiculous.
To really embrace making Canada an energy superpower. And what that would lead to with embracing Premier Smith's vision of doubling oil production. So I take it from about 5 million barrels a day to 10 million barrels a day. And to give your viewers a quick perspective on that, that's going to make close to double the GDP of Canada over 10 years. I mean, that's about 4 points to the growth rate. So it's quite transformational. So that's super positive. The sort of the challenge, or if that's the good news, kind of the bad news is the party that was not at the table to try and implement this, of course, were investors. I mean, the province was there, the federal government was there, but the investors weren't there. And so the investors were really the audience for on Friday. And if you're an investor, what you heard is...
this is funny too. This shot right here, get this. This is so stupid. This shot is Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, and he's trying to make it look like he's at some kind of an oil thing, I don't know, oil production plant or something like that. But he's in fact, if you know anything about the pipes and the things and he's standing in front of a frickin' sprinkler system. That's a sprinkler system for a building that he's standing in front of. It's got nothing to do with oil. It's not an oil well. It's not oil production. It's not oil anything. But he's making, the guy is such a faker. He fakes all the time. There was another shot of him one time standing in front of a building that looked like it was being built, but meanwhile it was a prop that they set up in some vacant lot with some kind of a building behind it, modular housing or something. It was all bullshit. It was just all fake. And this is just as fake because that's not oil. That's a sprinkler system. That's a bloody sprinkler system that he's standing in front of. And it's like, oh yeah, we're going to make an oil pipeline and blah, blah, oil this, oil that, oil the other thing. But we have to tax it. We have to carbon tax the oil, whatever. Yeah, it's a frickin' sprinkler system, you idiot. Jesus, these politicians are just a bunch of liars, and so fake. It's unbelievable.
A couple of things. First of all, Prime Minister Carney saying that the MOU has effectively increased the carbon price 6.5 times.
See, carbon price. You guys want to build a pipeline to BC from Alberta? No, we have to increase the carbon price first. First, increase the carbon price, Right. Well, you're not building anything. You haven't really said you're going to build anything. You just said, at some point in the future, we might do something. What a bunch of bullshit. Daniel Barry, what do you think?
That's a real attention getter. Now, of course, the premier said, hey, it could have been a lot worse because originally the Liberal policy was to actually increase it 8.5 times. Okay, so it depends on your cup half full or cup half empty. But of course, if you're an investor, they look at it on a global basis and relative to other places. And as some of your viewers may know, Canada is the only country of the 10 major oil producers that has an industrial carbon tax.
Yeah. The only country in the world that has this bullshit tax that causes our oil, to be, approximately $10 more expensive than oil from anywhere else. Like, that's how freaking ridiculous this is. It is, like, absolutely ridiculous. Freaking Mark Carney and his net zero bullshit. And that's what the reason... The big reason that I want to secede or be independent from Canada, because I am absolutely sick and tired of paying this tax. And, even the price that we pay for oil or gas at the pump, okay, has this industrial carbon tax on it because the people that produce oil in Canada have to pay the industrial carbon tax. It's a hidden tax because it is part and parcel of every liter that I buy at the pump. So we pay the carbon tax, which is embedded in the price of the oil or gasoline. Then on top of that, we have to pay what's known as a clean fuel tax. Okay, on top of that, we have to pay for additive type bullshit that's being added to the gasoline, such as ethanol and bullshit like that. And then on top of that, we have to pay the federal tax. And then on top of that, we have to pay the gouge and screw, the GST 5% tax, which isn't even, when you see a price of $1.85 a liter, on top of that, you have to pay another 5% federal tax. So all of those taxes could be eliminated, and our fuel would be so much cheaper. And from my paycheck, if you're working, you wouldn't have to pay any federal tax, which is a lot of money that you're paying annually to the government. So if you're a working stiff, you would literally be saving thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars every year if Alberta was not part of the gouge and screw country called Canada.
So if you're an investor, you're sitting in New York and you're thinking, hey, do I want to give the oil industry some more money? You heard, geez, this is the only place with a carbon tax, and they just increased it 6.5 times. So that's a pretty tough message to hear, as you can appreciate. So that's kind of the first and dominant reaction on carbon pricing.
Do you think though, Adam? Sorry, do you think though that this opens up the possibility for a private proponent for a pipeline? Because it definitely
no. Who would want to build a pipeline when you have such high taxes on the product that is being shipped in it? It's like, are people going to actually buy it? You want to have a foolproof product, first of all, before you're going to build a pipeline. Otherwise, why the hell build a pipeline? You're going to have a tough time getting people to go into a pipeline when you have the product taxed so much. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to buy it? Who's going to pay that premium price for it? It's like you're going to be going, you're going to be shaking your head going, man, we're stupid to build a pipeline if nobody's going to buy the product because it's so heavily taxed.
Was clear that there is an interest in a new pipeline, both by Premier Smith and the Prime Minister.
So again, that's very encouraging. It's nice to have a date, September 2027 to sort of, get this project started. So that was definitely encouraging. Again, the challenge on that was it's still pretty murky about how it's going to get to the point of actual project approval. Part of the reason being is some of the legislation that is centered around or there are hurdles, for instance, Bill C-69, the so-called No More Pipelines bill.
Yeah, we have an actual bill in Canada called C-69, No More Pipelines. Well, why wouldn't you go back and get rid of that particular bill that says no more pipelines? Because having that bill in place is going to impede any kind of a pipeline. Get rid of that bill, no more pipeline. And there's also another bill saying no more tankers on the west coast of Canada. Get rid of that bill. You need to get rid of both of those if you're going to build a pipeline. And there's other things where there's caps on oil production. I know that some of those caps have been kind of changed a little bit there lately to produce a little more oil. But right now the pipelines are full. Capacity is full. Even though we might be able to produce a little more oil, there's no more capacity in the pipeline going down to the States. And there is only one pipeline. There's only one pipeline, for God's sakes.
It's still in place. So if you're if you're the private sector and you're thinking about trying to build this, say, geez, and because remember, I would say there's two challenges. One is just getting approval for a pipe, but two is to fill a 1 million barrel a day pipeline, there's going to be a lot of projects that's going to be required to be approved to be able to actually fill it. So I would say it still be to be determined as to whether or not the plausibility of actually getting a pipeline filled remains to be seen.
The carbon capture technology is something industry has been talking about for a long time.
Oh my God. What this is carbon capture technology. This is capturing carbon from the air and, with a $2 billion plant and injecting it into the ground, which is the most ludicrous thing ever. Why not plant some trees? Because a tree does exactly the same thing. Why build a big $2 billion plant, waste a whole bunch of our money in Alberta to build some kind of stupid plants? But that's what Carney wants to do. In order to build this pipeline, we have to build $2 billion plants to suck CO2 out of the air and pump it into the ground. The most ludicrous thing ever. Net zero, net zero, net zero. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Once again.
You've been investing in for a long time. Do you think that it is now going to happen, that this big project is going to happen?
I think it's positive that there have been steps to try to.
I hope it doesn't happen. And he in the back of his mind, he's thinking, geez, I hope to hell that doesn't happen. You can tell by the way he's thinking. He's like not answering the question right away, but backing off of it. And nobody wants to see this carbon capture bullshit happen. Plant some trees if you want to do anything. Trudeau had a plan to plant 1 million trees, and he had money put aside for it. I don't know if he had money put aside, but it was one of the things that he proposed, and then it got kiboshed. Well, why not bring it back again? Plant some trees. I'm sure that everyone in the whole country would be like, yeah, let's plant some trees. But to build $2 billion plants to suck CO2 out of the air and pump it into the ground, like, come on, that's stupidity.
Encourage it, but I quickly would say part of the challenge is you have two different parties in this agreement who have different views on how the market works. On the one hand, you have Prime Minister Carney, who actually believes that decarbonized oil, the result of carbon capture and storage,
which is stupidity, idiocy, net zero, save the planet thinking, you know, decarbonize the oil. Okay, oil is oil is oil. Let's say that you had a can of oil in your hand, okay? You had a can of oil in your hand. How do you decarbonize that oil? Like, really? How can you take the carbon out of the oil? You can't. Decarbonize the oil is it's a foolish term that means that you're going to get the guy that makes that oil, pay some money to Carbon Carney, one of his subsidiaries, right? And then you're going to call it decarbonized oil. You're going to pay some money to somebody else, and that makes the oil then decarbonized. That is the most ludicrous thing ever. And shame on Mark Carney for coming up with that idea. Shame on the government for proposing that idea. Shame on anyone right across Canada for getting in bed and supporting that kind of an idea, because it's all bullshit. It is total bullshit, and I'm so sick and tired of this net zero, carbon zero, decarbonized oil. You're all being fooled by Mark Carney, and he's playing that little flute, and you guys are all the little rats following behind him, not even really realizing what the hell he's doing to you. And he's sucking so much money out of your pocket that it's unbelievable. That's why Alberta wants independence, right there.
Will sell at a premium in the world market.
Yeah, and the decarbonized oil will sell at a premium because the only thing that makes it decarbonized is that somebody is adding a tax to it. Jesus.
That's going to help pay for carbon capture and storage, also help pay for the carbon tax. Industry has a different view, that they have not seen evidence that actually buyers will pay a premium for decarbonized oil.
Who the hell is going to pay a premium for decarbonized oil when there's no such thing as decarbonized oil? All it is like, here, do you want to buy this oil for $15 or you want to buy this oil for $20? This is decarbonized. That's why it's $20. Or do you want to buy regular oil for $20? Decarbonized oil is $5 more. You're going to pay that? How stupid can you get?
Now, lots of times you can reach an agreement with two different parties. We can reach, one's kind of optimistic, one's kind of pessimistic about the future, and they structure around that. But I would say this is a fairly different fundamental view on how things get paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if
nobody wants to pay more money for anything in this world, why would anyone pay more? But we're so stupid. We are absolutely stupid people. We're like lemmings here. I said mice, I think, but lemmings is the correct term. We are stupid lemmings paying more. Why are we even paying these carbon taxes and carbon bullshit, industrial carbon taxes and all this bullshit? And you know what? I want to know, where is this money going to that the federal government is collecting? You know what? They don't tell us where the money goes. You know that? They collect all this money for all these carbon taxes and bullshit. They don't tell us even where that money goes to. Where does it go? Does it go into like one giant bank account in Ottawa, and then they just use it to do other bullshit type stuff? Like, they're certainly not using it for anything to do with saving the planet. I'm not seeing the temperature of the globe going down at all. I'm not seeing any empirical evidence of any carbon tax revenue going to save the planet whatsoever. No, nothing. There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that any carbon tax collected has done anything to improve the environment whatsoever. That's how stupid this is.
Prime Minister says, geez, I'm super confident in this because based on the people he's talked to, he might be prepared to sort of take that risk.
Right.
So I would emphasize, lots of times you could have parties with different perspectives and still structure around that. But I would emphasize this is a fundamental different view of the future.
Let me just end on this. You talked about optimism and pessimism. Are you optimistic now about the future of the energy sector, of the oil industry in this country?
Alberta Radio, stick around.
So
come on up in the panel.
I'm definitely maybe a cup half full person, so I just generally have an optimistic perspective. I really would emphasize the fact that the Prime Minister wants to make Canada an energy superpower. That's 2 thumbs up. I think that Right now, I would just caution your viewers, we are 2/3 the way through to reaching an agreement. We, there's two parties. There's another party, which is basically the investment community. And that they're going to be very conscious of what their investment alternatives. And right now, the investment alternatives, for many of them, look better in the United States.
Okay, Adam Watrous, you're always good to speak with. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Okay. So that's very interesting, and you can hear from a professional that's involved with that whole thing. I've heard other people say that this decarbonizing oil and overtaxing oil is just a big hardship for Alberta and for being able to sell our product to other countries. It's not doing us any good whatsoever, ever. Okay, I'm going to drop a link in the chat there. And Alberta Radio, come on up on the panel here. If you can, let me just click that link here and just pin it. Hang on, I just want to pin this message so that we can get people up here. Yeah, okay, so click that link that I just dropped there, the console link, HTTPS console EV Mux. Come on up on the panel. And we can get a few people up here and maybe talk a little bit about this. I know some of the people that might come up here are going to be wanting to talk about American politics or something like that. But let's get some people up here that want to talk in particular about Alberta independence would be good. Hang on a second here. Just get this all in shape here. Okay, there's Carrie in there. Carrie, no, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay, anyways, we'll get a few people up here. We got Spin City News popping up here. I don't know that you're going to talk about Alberta stuff here. Oh, I'm not seeing your any photo in there at all. I'm just seeing, okay, there we go. Okay, I see something in there now. Okay, here's Spin City News up here. Let me just bring it into a different format here. Hang on. Let me just try it again here. Here we go. Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Good, Tommy.
I'm probably going to have an echo here until I do flick a couple of switches behind the scene here, but go ahead.
Yeah, I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, just let me go in the back end here and flip a switch. Where is cable A? Right here. Okay, should be good now.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, I still hear it.
Oh, you still have echo? Even though?
Yep, I still have an echo.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see that. Hang on. What the hell did I do wrong here now? Hang on. Cable A should be... Maybe it didn't stick. Oh, yeah, cable A. Yeah, I got cable A in there. Okay. Wow, that's weird. Cable A is...
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, the reason I did come up was it sounds like the carbon bullshit that you guys are going through is like what we have in California. Where you have to have emissions controls. Our air in California is so fucking bad. All this other bullshit. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's exactly what it is. Exactly.
I mean this whole bullshit started back when Greenpeace in the United States started with their the air is so bad, everything is so bad that we're breathing in toxins, and it goes back to the Green Deal that Joe Biden fucking started their bullshit with. Which, by the way, was overturned in the trash can.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I'm having trouble getting rid of this Yeah, and I see you in there, Jason. Just hang on a second here. I'm just trying to resolve this where normally I'm able to switch to a different cable and get rid of my echo. Which, oh man, this will be bad if I can't get rid of it because I probably have to reboot my computer here, which I don't really want to do.
That would suck.
Yeah, because but I think you guys can be on the panel here while I'm off the panel here. So
yeah, you should be able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the two of you up here. Hey, Jason, good to see you.
Hey, Jason.
What's going on, man? Let's go, guys.
Good to see you. Hey, I'm going to leave the two of you up here, and I'm just going to reboot my computer, okay? So hopefully this holds in here while I reboot, okay? I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. You there, Jason?
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now without the fucking echo. Anyway, are you in Canada or are you here in the States?
No, I'm in Alberta.
Oh, are you? Well, like I told Tommy, I came up there. It just sounds like Canada is like California here in the States. I'm in Florida, but this whole carbon bullshit, you know, you can't take the carbon out of oil. I don't know. I don't care what anybody says. It's like the whole, I constitute it to the whole organic and non-organic bullshit. Organic is, they claim is better and you're going to pay more for it. But I believe in the conspiracy of they're just slapping an organic label on it so you make, or you pay a higher price for something. And then they collect more taxes, right? Which pads the government's pockets. And at the end of the day, who's getting rich? Not John Q. taxpayer, the government. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are, but
the way it works is like this in Canada. So Alberta faces the same problem as Ontario with the mining sector. So in Ontario, we used to have two Canadian companies that dominated the mining sector, which was Inco and Falconbridge. And in the late 90s, in the late 90s, they ended up selling out to Estrada and Vale, and those are two Brazilian companies. The logging industry is the same thing. Canada has allowed that, like if you go in northern Ontario, man, there's a whole hectares of forestry owned by Ukraine, owned by Mexico, owned by Spain. How does that happen? So when you look at it, Canada says it's sovereign, right? On one hand, it tells its citizens one thing, but at the end of the day, they're just selling our resources off to foreign countries and then turning around and we're being pinned on it. We have to pay the price.
Sure.
And I've been covering a lot of this the last 2 weeks about the gas here in Alberta, because the other day I went to a refinery and I have friends who work in the refineries here, and they're saying, Jay, you know, does it make sense that we're paying $2 a liter? Does it really make sense when we're providing our gas, our own gas stations, our own, you know what I mean, our own fuel?
I'll give you. And I'm like, okay. Can I say something? Can I say something to that effect? Okay, so I live near a port. I live near Tampa, Florida, right? Our gas right now is almost $5 US. I apologize. I don't know the liter system, so
it's
help me along with
3.5 liters
that,
to your
right?
gallon, yeah.
Sir?
It's 3.5 liters to your gallon, pretty much.
Okay, so you're at $2 a liter. I don't know what the dollar amount would be. I can't do it in my head. Our port, they are blaming at this right now. They are blaming the influx of our or part of our spike in gas is delivery of that gas, right? Yeah. They're inflating the cost because it's costing more to deliver it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what they say to us too. And then when Canadians started figuring it out that it wasn't delivery costs, they made up the carbon tax, and then they made up this. This is what they do in Canada. Right now, Canada and the United States, I find that our governments are misleading us in a way like similar to Scandinavia. I don't know if anybody knows the history of Scandinavia. Same
I
things
don't. I apologize,
Well,
but I'm sure you're going to educate me. Please do.
Well, Scandinavia, a long time ago, was under dominant control, and still to this day, where everything was government state propaganda, welfare state, depending on government, or the government always knew better, and eventually they got out of that. Now in Canada, it seems like Canada is becoming Scandinavia by globalists. And when you look at Scandinavia back when it was under dominant control, it was under control by oligarchs, the same way Canada is right now, the same way it's happening in the States. So the only country that's got rid of oligarchs and corporations to benefit their citizens, is, believe it or not, is Russia, right? So
Really, I didn't know that. I
yeah,
didn't.
man.
I had no
There's
idea.
videos out there. There's videos out there. Putin kicking, like getting rid of the oligarchs, and putting, So you have to remember when the Soviet Union collapsed, right? They're lucky
Yeah.
they even became a country after. So Putin had a lot to do with that. And that's not to praise him or anything. It's just to look at the dynamics of differences between our countries, right? Where one country is not there to take from their citizen, they're protecting their citizens, versus Canada, where they just don't give a shit.
Well, I guess the biggest question I have, and I have questioned this since I even started dabbling in politics and journalism and stuff like that, right? Is if the government is saying that removing carbon out of oil or out of the air, out of the air is going to help. They're going to pump it into the ground, which trees already do that in probably more massive amounts. Now, I'm putting the tinfoil hat on a second, yeah. What is the benefit? What is going to be the benefit other than people like that Greenpeace, right?
No, the benefit in Canada is that Mark Carney is associated. He has shares coming. Maybe he doesn't actually own shares in the company, but he has.
Tommy carries backstage.
No, Brookfield has assets. Brookfield has ownership. Yeah,
That's
it
right.
has access,
Brookfield.
right? So
it's a whole Brookfield deal.
Brookfield's.
Okay, well, I please, I will never allude that I know anything about, what's going on in Canada, but I see a lot of shit coming out of Canada, and Tommy, comes on and stuff like that. So I have a genuine and a general interest, because if Alberta were to separate from Canada, would it be beneficial that the U.S. take, I don't want to say take control, because that's very wrong to say, but would the U.S. benefit from Alberta, or would you
100%.
Sir?
Oh, 100% they would.
Okay.
They already do. They already do. I mean, Alberta and the United States has a stronger relationship with each other than any other province in this country.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
I don't think the states will ever take us over, and I don't think that's something we want. We want to be an independent nation.
Okay, so let me.
People talk about that. They say, "Well, you guys."
Tommy, can you turn yourself up a little bit?
What's that?
Can you turn your mic up just a little bit?
Oh, let's see here. Yeah.
I hate to have you mess with your settings.
I can. Okay. How's
That's
that there?
Much better. Much better. Much better.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, people say that us separatists, our seppies, us traitors want to become the 51st state. And there are actually groups on Facebook called, Alberta 51st State and stuff like that, But I would say that it's a process. The process is one step at a time. And the first step is to become an independent country, to separate from Canada. Now, if the people within Alberta wish to become the 51st state, then they would say, let's vote. Let's have a democratic vote on it. And, it'll be a democratic process all around. It won't be the U.S. pushing us into it. It won't be, Canada pushing us into it or the world pushing us into it at all. Like Jason says, the first process is just for us to become an independent country. Now, obviously, we do an awful lot of trade with the United States. We sell an awful lot of oil, 4 billion barrels a day of oil to the United States presently, and we want to make that more. Right now, there's another pipeline that Trump just signed off on to get another 1 million barrels a day into the States. So we don't have a problem with that at all. Also, you guys are, getting that oil not at world prices, but at Canadian prices. I think it's called Canadian Select prices. Let me just see. Western Canadian
they get
Select is the
rock
actual
price,
name
wholesale
for it.
rock prices. Yeah.
Okay, please forgive me. I'm ignorant to what you mean about Western Canadian prices.
Tommy, can I just address Queenie for a minute? Because she's my cousin and she's ranting off in the comments. I just want to address this one thing. I'm just going to say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Queenie, first of all, I don't know why you even want to stand with Canada, who tried to eradicate our families. They tried to erase our tribes. They took our language and our culture away from most of us. And you're sitting here and you want to stay with the crown? Is it the treaty payment? Really? Is it something like, what is it? Why do you want to stay, Queenie? Like, honestly. You're calling us names. You're calling your own family member a name. Maybe you should go get your meds, because seriously, a lot of us are getting fed up with your fucking attitude and the tax on us. So I'm just gonna say it. Any First Nations that wants to stay in the grips of their slavery, their masters.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Calls those people colonizers. She's like, well, she calls me a colonizer, for God's sakes. I was born in Canada, so can't be. But if you don't like colonizers, why would you not want to get away from the actual people that colonized you, which would be Canada and that whole Canadian regime?
Right? Our families fought against the Crown in the Red River Battle. And my family's been fighting ever since we came to the land from Basque France in 1496. Like, we're like one of the first families to ever hit this side of the world. And, my history with our family fighting the Crown over and over again, they took our lands away in Acadia expulsion, COVID. I mean, it's just an onslaught continuously with the Crown. And to think that people are suffering from a Stockholm Syndrome type delusion is just, it blows my mind, and I call it out all the time. And it's it's my own cousin, you know what I mean? So
hello everybody.
None of our family want to stay with the Crown, I can tell you that, except for
her. Carrie, good to see you.
Most people, if they've been in my channel for a while, they know who Queenie is. We got Carrie in here. Hey Carrie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. That's one thing, we in the States, we hear this and we wonder, we don't know any of this going on, Canada's ins and outs, and it's a learning experience for us.
Well, doesn't Canada, Carrie, let me ask you this question, and before telling me you had to reboot, doesn't Canada and all this emissions and carbon and all the bullshit sound like California?
It sure does.
I mean, it's like I hate to say it this way, Tommy and Jason. It's an exact carbon copy of Canada. No pun intended.
Maybe we should trade California for Alberta.
I think we would get along much better if you want the honest God's truth.
Canada is like California, most parts of Canada, because we're so liberal. I think that Queenie doesn't want separation because I think she's originally from Manitoba and has family in Saskatchewan. So, like, she has roots in other parts of Canada. So she dearly wants Alberta to be staying with Canada. That might be her reasoning. I don't know.
No, it's not even that. She's brainwashed by the rest of the, like, there's two parts of our family. There's very little that want to stay with the crown, and the rest of us are trying to figure out why do you want to do that. And the idea to name call and call us colonizers and stuff, I think they should realize that we're being colonized right now.
I'm gonna be crazy here, but is this like our American racism?
No,
that's what it sounds like to me.
It's the government that's splitting us up and dividing us, and then you have the government weaponizing these small groups of people, and that's what's happening in Canada.
Well, that's what's going on here, between the blacks and the white.
Yeah.
We have Indians, but we don't, discriminate against Indians. It's a black and white issue here,
Yeah.
Well, when you become political, it's Democrat, Republican. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care what state you're in. There will always be a divide, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. One side against the other.
Do not speak for our family. Well, I'm in contact with more family members than you, Queenie. None of us like you, so have a good day. I'm sorry, man. I just don't put up with it. Anyways, let's get back on topic, Tommy. I apologize.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are there? Okay, so Tommy, I saw your bit there, and I have so many fucking questions. I have so many fucking questions. So they want to put some commercial structure or a plant up that is going to pull all the carbon out of the air. Then they're going to inject it into the ground.
Right. And
what is this plant going to run off of?
Carbon.
Well, yeah.
Wait. No. It's a logical question.
But you can imagine that it's going to use a lot of resources like electricity, probably electricity, might even use natural gas.
Hold the fuck on. How are they generating the electricity?
Natural gas.
That's going to emit what into the air?
Carbon dioxide.
Let's see the brainiac bullshit behind this.
Yeah, and what is
explain that plant?
What is Canada most known for?
The good thing about it is it can make Brookfield some money, which Carney, the proponent of the whole thing, Net Zero Carney, our prime minister, he has got stock options in Brookfield that is going to make a ton of money off of this company that's going to be doing that, right?
I renew my question.
And there's also this whole thing called carbon credits, right? There's carbon credits that get generated by doing crap like that. And he's got options in those companies that are all involved with the carbon credits. It's a big scam. It's a big net zero scam, all of it. It's unbelievable.
What is Canada most noted for? What's on their flag?
Beaver.
What's on the flag?
Our maple syrup.
Your trees, your maple. The trees are the best thing for carbon.
Absolutely. And you know what? With all the trees that we have in Canada, with all of the carbon that we emit, we are actually carbon neutral. We're actually sucking more carbon out of the atmosphere than we're actually producing due to all the trees that we have in Canada.
Well, again, okay, so now you're generating more electricity. Now, let me land it, Tommy. Let me land it real quick.
Your thinking is right. The whole and really, the only reason that we're being forced to build these, they call them carbon sequestering plants, is because we want to build a pipeline. We want a pipeline to the West Coast. And Carbon Carney is saying, in order to do that, you have to build a $2 billion plant to suck carbon out of the atmosphere. That's one of the things you have to do. The other thing you have to do is you have to make sure that every large emitter corporation in Alberta pays more carbon tax. They're already paying a carbon tax right now of whatever, I don't know how many per ton, the X number of dollars per ton. They have to pay way more for it in order to get this pipeline. So he's forcing us to do more carbon bullshit in order to even build a pipeline. It's ridiculous.
This exactly sounds like the bullshit that's happening that is currently going on in California. Yeah, gasoline right now in some parts of California is over $7 a US $7 a gallon US, right?
Right.
You guys aren't very far fucking behind us if I did the conversion correctly.
We have big taxes on our fuel. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I hate to do this, Tommy, but follow me for a second. You have $7 a gallon gas, unleaded, just regular bullshit, run-of-the-mill 87 octane, right? Then you come 3,000 miles to the other side of the country. We are right now at almost $5 a gallon, right? Well, my semantic is you've got all the ports all along fucking California. We know this. There are ports everywhere, right? We have ports here in Florida. They say, and I was discussing this with my new friend Jason up there, we have the ports. They are claiming that the costs are trucking or bringing it to your gas station.
Yeah.
Well, we have a pipeline that goes from Tampa to Orlando.
I know that, Kerry. I'm just saying for us, for you and I on the western side of Florida, our gas is coming out of Tampa. So there is a gas station right outside of the port. They are the highest. They are over $6, but the port's right there. How does that make sense?
Well, here's something that makes sense. Here's something that doesn't make
Canada. We're not Alberta, but Canada has similar rules to California, where they want us to drive electric vehicles. They don't want gas cars on the roads. They want no pipelines. They want to shut down the oil industry. It's the liberals that are running the federal government that are anti-oil, absolutely anti-oil. That's why Alberta
and I respectfully understand that. But let's go back to the semantic for a second. You want to build a carbon plant. It's going to be run on electricity, right?
Well, we don't want to build it, but
no. I understand. Okay, I apologize. They want you to build this carbon bullshit thing. It's going to be run either on electricity or natural gas or whatever. There's going to be emissions.
It's not going to
come out. Now, they want you to buy electric cars. How in Canada, and this is an actual legitimate question, is your electricity generated right now as we speak?
In the province of Alberta, we have multiple
ways. Yeah, well, not just natural gas, Tommy. We have most of the energy grid in Canada is provided from Quebec off their hydro.
Right.
Okay. So then in Alberta, we still have a couple coal mines that pump out electricity, and we have the wind turbines and natural gas. So it's a combination, but it's not as much natural gas. The natural gas that's being used for electricity is mostly for commercialized industrial companies and stuff. Residential is pulling it off a different grid.
So hydro and nuclear.
In other parts of Canada. But in Alberta, we don't have hydro or nuclear. But the coal plants that produced electricity in Alberta were phased out by Notley when the NDP came in. They paid out the companies to get rid of those coal contracts, and those plants have now changed over to natural gas. So that's basically it.
But there's still,
also
but
a
my
little bit
argument
of
is
solar
this,
panel
Tommy.
and windmill.
But my argument is this. They have to have electricity to generate the fans, or however they're going to pull this carbon out of the air. It is still going to create emissions that they're trying to get rid of.
Can I explain that plant to you? So how that plant works is there's no emissions going to the air. It's all being pumped into a underground mining. It's like a mine that's underground, but it's all industrial, right? So all the emissions that's being generated, so they'll suck in the carbon from the air. Any stuff that's being generated offset from the production of it, that's also going in the ground, and it turns into carbon pellets.
Okay.
So there's no emissions on those carbon plants.
Okay, respectfully, at that point, what do you do with all those carbon pellets?
You recycle them, make product.
Recycle them. Okay, let's go into the recycling. Then you're going to have trucking, which is going to cause more emissions. It doesn't make sense. That's what I'm alluding to. It doesn't make sense at all.
Well, the other thing that doesn't make sense is the fact that you're going to have to spend $2 billion on that plant, and money doesn't. Well, you can print money, I guess, but that money is going to have to come from the sale of oil, probably from oil profits, right? So,
and petroleum products are used for everything. I mean, our clothes, you name it, everything. We're forgetting that fact.
My great-grandfather was Roger Goulet, Queenie. So much do you know about our family. Anyways,
I mean, I get the whole semantic, Jason, but you are right, though, where I'm going?
You're absolutely right. It makes no sense because I actually didn't think of it that way. You know, when we're spending billions of dollars for a plant, but then at the end of the day, we got to transport it out, so there's emissions. So you're right. It's a useless, made-up thing just to grab. It's a cash grab. That's all it is.
I agree, and that's where I was going with it, Jason. It's a cash grab. All it is. And,
money.
Tommy, I'm going to use your semantic real quick. I'm going to pay $15 for a bottle of this oil, and I'm going to pay $20 for this bottle of oil. The only people that I see that would pay that $20 is people like Greenpeace, because they think they're doing, they're in the mindset that this is doing something good for our planet. No, it's not, because you cannot extract the carbon out of oil. I mean, you think you can.
It's impossible.
But it's impossible.
No, you'd have to burn it. Burn it.
It's
so
a term.
What are we going to make every
oil,
engine?
It's just a term. It's just bullshit term. All it means is it's being taxed, and hopefully you have used that tax money to spend on something to save the planet. The other thing that I'm thinking of is that if you plant a tree, Brookfield can't make residual off of it. Once they might be involved with actually planting the tree and make some money off of that, but with the carbon capture plant, they can make money off of that year after year after year. So, with planting of trees, which is a far better way of saving the planet, but hey, the net zero carbon carney enterprise can't make money off of that on an annual basis.
Well, I guess the underlying thing obviously is the almighty dollar. Okay, I get it. It's the almighty dollar, but that is exactly what I was going to say, Carrie. When is it going to stop? We wonder that here in the U.S. When is it going to stop? When do we have to stop printing money? And I'm using, I apologize. I'm using the chat. When are you or we going to have to stop printing money to fund these radical, in my opinion, radical ideologic bullshit? I'm sorry to say it that way, but when's it going to happen? It's never going to happen. That's the solution.
The whole world runs on money, and our federal government is sucking money out of Alberta. That's all there is to it, and we're sick and tired of it.
It's a whole fictitious scam. The whole thing.
I feel bad, Tommy. I feel bad for you. I feel bad with what you're having to put up with. Just like I feel bad.
I looked at a meme done in, I don't know what it was, 100 years ago, and it's a picture of a cow laying there with the Easterners sucking the tits of it or whatever. And it was going on 100 years ago. It's been going on forever, where they've been sucking money, using us as their money supply for the last 100 years, and that's why we're sick and tired of it. And so finally, people have gotten together and grouped together and said, you know what? We're tired of this already. The only way out of it, if they're not going to change their ways and do anything about it, and even if they build a pipeline, that's still not stopping the sucking of money out of Alberta, the equalization payments. We haven't even talked about that, where there's literally billions and billions and billions of dollars being sent out of Alberta to Eastern Canada and then distributed to other provinces like Quebec and Ontario, Atlantic provinces. And then we're sitting here with a $9 billion deficit federally, provincially in the province of Alberta here. It's
well, and here's the irony. I have friends that live in Buffalo and Niagara Falls. They see more Canadian vehicles coming across the border into the United States to buy gas than to buy it in Canada. And I think I could probably say with some pretty good certainty, anybody that lives near the U.S. border would come into the United States to buy fuel because it's absolutely cheaper.
Yeah, I would bet that I could buy gas cheaper in Montana, right across the border, than we can right here in Alberta, where we have 5 refineries and we actually produce the oil here.
They just closed refineries in California, Tommy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because they don't want to pay all this bullshit.
Here's a good one. I think you might have heard it today, Ben. But here in Florida, they want to stop you and question you if you have any business going anywhere. They want to restrict your travel, for business only. You can't go out and drive just to drive. You have to have a destination. And there's other states that are saying that you can't drive a classic car only on the weekends.
Well, that's a bunch of bullshit.
It is bullshit.
They're doing that here in Edmonton.
They get in and they have to pass laws. They have to pass it just to be doing something. Yeah. And we have to stop that.
Oh, 1 second. We had another person coming up on the panel.
I got to leave, boys.
From Ottawa, but something happened when I brought you up here, so come on back in the backstage again.
I got to take off anyways, guys. But it was good chatting with you. Just before I go, what's happening in Florida right now is the same thing that's happening here in Edmonton, and it's all World Economic Forum planning in terms of restricting our ability to travel, putting us in zones and using it as you can go to work with your car. If you want to go anywhere else, you have to take a bus. It's the same thing. When you mentioned
like New York City.
Yeah, when you mentioned that's the same thing that's happening in Edmonton. They're trying to pass that here right now.
They sneak it in little by little, and we sleep. We don't pay attention. We don't talk about it, and it just gets passed, And we have to be more aware everywhere around the world. Just good talk to you. Good, a lot of information there.
Yeah, I'll definitely come on next time for longer.
We sit back.
Actually, Jason, I want to do just a one-on-one, just you and I talking about independence. We got to do a show like that
Okay, give me a call
sometime
tomorrow. I'm
during the
home.
daytime, maybe.
Yeah, give me a shout tomorrow. I got an appointment in the morning, but give me a shout. I'm home all day, so if you want to do something, let's do it.
What time is the best for you?
Give me a shout around noon.
Around noon? Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
We'll do something. I'll go live around noon, and I have a way bigger audience right in the middle of the day, like especially right around noon. That's where most of my subscribers, subscribe to me. So we'll have a lot more people watching in the middle of the day as opposed to middle of the night here.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Awesome, boys. Well,
Okay.
have yourselves a good night, and God bless.
You too, man.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
That's
It's good
Jason. He's
because-
with. You can find him. Oh, hang on. Before you go, where can people find you on, let's say, YouTube?
YouTube, just look for Alberta Radios with an S, all one word, and you can smash that subscribe button for me. And yeah, that's the best way.
Okay, sounds
If
good.
you type I link in Tommy's chat, it'll drop your link.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you drop out of here, go back into the YouTube channel and just type I link in my chat,
Okay.
and my bot will drop
I'm
your,
sorry. No,
channel.
it is question or exclamation
Exclamation
point
mark link.
Yeah. Why was I saying
You
I,
sucked me
Tommy?
in.
What the fuck?
Exclamation mark link. Yeah,
Because it
type
looks
that
like
in.
an eye. Upside
No
down.
problem.
All right, boys. Have a good night.
Upside down eye. Okay, see you later, Jason. Thanks a lot.
You know,
Yeah,
Tommy,
so
it just pisses
he's
me
from
off.
Alberta. Oh, I was going to say to Jason there, because I brought up that little thing there with the NDP guy there, and I was saying that I should go with my megaphone outside of his office and blow him or do something in front of his office. I'd like to do that too, Jason, that we get together over at Jason or at Nenshi's office there, and we do some kind of a live video in front of his office and have a megaphone and stuff like that on the go there. That would be kind of fun too.
Well, you know, I just think that, you know, California is getting a lot of their ideology from Canada. I believe that. And it's trying to be pushed everywhere. I know, Carrie, I don't know if you saw it, but I believe Washington, the state of Washington, is trying to do this green shit. I heard that a couple times. I've never confirmed it, but I know like Washington, Oregon are trying to get in bed with California with all their emissions shit. And one of the big things. What?
The whole left coast.
Yeah, the whole West Coast, and what they're trying to say is that the emissions are killing the trees, they're killing the fish, they're damaging people's lungs and all this other stuff. And I mean, we exhale carbon dioxide, right?
Yep. Which is carbon.
Which is carbon. So what, are you going to put a fucking mask on everybody and we're going to stop the carbon footprint?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. Clayton wants to come up here. The way you get up here is click that link. There's a pinned link in the chat. Hang on. Are you restreaming this? Maybe you don't have the link on your stream. Grab the link and put it in your chat and just pin it in there if you can, and then Clayton can come up here because I don't think Clayton has the link.
My idea about California is if they
I'm not restreaming it.
It's fine. They want $20 an hour minimum wage, but yet they complain about the gas prices going on. I say, as long as they keep it there in California, they should suffer. You know, they can keep it and live on it.
Yeah.
The rest of us avoid that.
Here's the link. I just put the link in there. It says console EV Mux. Click that link and you can come on up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I dropped the link too, Tommy. I had you
okay,
on
good.
the screen.
Okay, well, we're definitely like California, not Alberta. Alberta is conservative. We're like Republican in Alberta, but pretty much the rest of Canada, well, actually Saskatchewan is kind of what I would classify conservative as well. But pretty much the rest of Canada is lefty, like California, like the Democrats. They're woke. It's like a woke mentality. It's even worse because at least you guys have a federal party that said, "Hey, let's get rid of wokeness, get rid of carbon capture, carbon BS, and climate change. Get away from that climate change accord that was in where France." Whereas we're still deeply embedded in all that stuff. In fact, Carbon Carney, our prime minister, was one of the key guys that came up with that whole carbon program, right? He was one of the guys that thought it all up. And
somebody's in the back.
Like now we're faced with being pretty much the only country that is really, really pushing this whole carbon bullshit, and we're sick and tired of it.
Sure. Somebody's in the back.
How many parties are involved in all your elections and everything? Like
generally, well, there's probably about 10 of them, but there's 3 major ones that get most of the votes. The Liberals, which are running the country, the Conservatives, which are coming in second, and then you've got the NDP that are even more left than the Liberals, right? The NDP party, like the guy that I showed you.
It seems to me I hear, different party every time I turn around, when I'm listening to Canadians, maybe condense it down to the 3
parties.
and, and leave it there.
3 parties. You can bring in more, but they only get like 1% of the vote, like the PPC party, the Green Party, the Communist Party, whatever, and on it goes.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's the same way here. I mean, you've got the right-wing extremists, the real conservatives. Then you have the radical liberals, right-wing, left-wing, and then you have the people that they consider purple, right? And it's like it doesn't make sense.
They usually just all go to one or the other parties or the third party, the independent.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
The way it usually works out here. I just wondering. Tommy, I keep asking, what's the reference to the St. George on your flag? Is that to England?
That's exactly what that is. Reference to St. George. That's exactly.
I was going to say St. George. Yeah.
St. George. Okay, it's not. It doesn't have anything to do with English representation or anything.
Well, it comes from Britain, but it has to do with like strength or something. I forget exactly what the reasoning was, but it's like a strength type symbol, that sort of thing, eh? But it's not really
like
a symbol of the monarchy or something like that. That's why people are saying, well, you guys have that on your flag. Like if I bring that on my flag here, hang on a second, let me bring that flag up here.
Because in England, it differentiates you from British,
Tommy, you got somebody in the back.
Yeah, you can see that. Well, we got Phoenix Tide on the chat here, Larp Carney. Yeah, you can see it on our flag here. And people have said, well, are you going to leave that on your flag because that represents the British monarchy? But it absolutely doesn't. It's like a symbol of strength, I think, is what it actually represents.
That's what the English people represent themselves with. They're not British. They're English. They do not want to be called British.
Yeah, well, it comes from
like
over
a
there.
word.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
but
it's a cuss word.
It's not like that we're leaving a colonizer symbol on the flag, but I like it. I think it's okay.
I was wondering, with all your colonization and settlers and,
Tommy, you got a couple in the back.
Okay, yeah. Let's see who else is in there. We've got Chinese Gordon in there and 12th man. Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, bro?
And we got 12th man in there.
What's up,
Wolf
Tommy?
man?
Wolf
How
man.
you guys doing tonight?
Hey, Thanks.
Doing-
Thanks for popping in.
no.
12th man in there. Chinese Gordon. What kind of a name is that?
It's a name that goes back a long ways. Put it that way.
You're not the guy that's on that telephone thing, are you?
Telephone. What are you talking about?
Let's see if I can find it here. That one.
$5.
No.
Oh no! People are gonna say, "Oh, he's racist now." Oh my God.
China.
No, actually, my name actually derives from a 1800s British war hero. And what had happened was that he actually fought for China. He had escapades in Russia, Ukraine, India, like all over the place. And so it kind of stuck with me for a bit there.
Okay. Yeah, we had lots of Chinese in Canada here that came over for gold mining. They worked the gold mining fields in British Columbia, the Yukon, and I think they even helped with building the railroads back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
12th man.
Sure
12th man
that.
is in the chat here too. Coming in from Alaska. He's living off grid in Alaska. How are things, 12th man?
Yeah. The Irish are going to be celebrated for their slavery too. That the Irish were slaves. Like all kinds of people were slaves at one point. So.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Sounded good. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how are things up north there in Alaska? It's getting warmer.
Good. Well, the Democrats are trying to kill our gas line bill by wanting to tax everything. So, I don't know. I heard y'all were building a gas line.
We're trying to. We're working on it. Hey, how much do you make? Don't you get a check once a year for the oil and gas up there in Alaska?
Yeah,
how much
this
is that?
year's $1,200, but it's supposed to be $3,800. See?
What's happening? Those Democrats making you cut back on that money?
It's all cuts.
They gotta pay for all their special projects and all that, Tommy.
Sucking money out of your paycheck.
That's exactly what it is.
The people don't get their fair share amount of the oil revenue, right?
Yeah, well, that's not
good. Because the Democrats always spend it.
Well, they always got to fund like sex changes in Uganda, transgender Sesame Street. Right. So yeah, we know.
Yeah,
that's exactly
absolutely.
What goes on up here in Canada too with
Sesame
the Liberals.
Street
they keep
is
spending money on craziness.
Canadians.
What is gas price in Alaska, 12th man?
Well, if the parents in Alberta,
it's over $5.
If the parents in Alberta took care of the kids, we wouldn't have to worry about indoctrinating them.
That makes absolute sense to me.
Now, we haven't heard from you there. We got Phoenix Tide in there. LARP Kearney, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Tommy. Tell me, why is it that Albertans are not injecting their children with oil yet? Why are you leaving it up to us?
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer
if
that
you guys
kind of a
cared
question.
more about your children, you would take care of their sex changes.
Well, what we're doing is we're making sure that there's not porn books in their libraries at school. We're starting there.
Oh,
and
speaking of fucking sex changes.
We actually made it in Alberta here so that it's illegal to have a LGBTQ flag in the school, in in the classroom. So that's good.
Really?
Better watch out, Tommy.
Well, that's the problem.
Canada's gonna get like the UK and start locking people up for free speech.
they have this new bill. I think it's Bill 22 that they just brought out. I don't think they've like made it legal yet, but when it does come out, yeah, they might be locking guys like me out for saying things. It's like you won't be able to say something that might hurt somebody else's feelings. Basically, is how it works.
I would still say, whether it's illegal or not, I would still go up to somebody and say, "Fuck off." I don't give a fuck if it hurts your feelings or not.
Alberta.
Really?
You can't say something that they don't like that would offend them.
You guys like to fund all of my hookers.
Wait a minute. So then anybody that says "fuck off" to somebody, they're gonna get arrested. Well, then you might as well just go turn yourself into the fucking cops right now.
Turn around and get cuffed up.
I know. That's how bad it's getting. It's like a guy that I watch in the UK, Charlie Veach. I don't know if you watch him at all. Absolutely sub to him or find him. Charles Veach in the UK. He did a video where he was videoing a whole group of people at a rally. It was like I forget what kind of a rally, but far away, probably about 40 feet away from, 30 feet away from him, was a guy with I forget what it was, like purple hair or something like that. And he made a comment about the guy's purple hairs that, that guy looks ridiculous, looks stupid, what an idiot, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, he got a knock on his door by the police because the guy that was in that video identified himself and didn't like the verbiage that Charlie used against him in, describing the way he was. So the cops ended up arresting poor Charlie.
So like basically the RCMP is going to become the feelings police again.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's like I said earlier, that our legislators decide how to outdo each other in their insanity. They're just trying to pass laws to look stupid.
They're basically going to drive people out of Canada. That's what they're going to do.
Well,
you can't say this. You can't say lick my fucking gash. You can't say fuck off. You can't call somebody a moron because I'm going to go to jail. That is the most
use profanity anymore,
shit.
Pretty much. You cannot use profanity, otherwise they will flag you.
So what is
they think it's so offensive to use any kind of profanity.
Okay, so in the States here, I can tell you to go fuck off, and if I go right across the border, go fuck off, I'm going to jail. Kiss my ass.
Pretty much, yeah. It's
well,
not
you can
bad,
tell
man.
children to fuck off all you want, as long as you're doing it with intent.
Oh, no, wait a minute. If it applies to adults, the children are going to be going to school. My daddy said, lick my balls. It was so offensive. Fuck you.
It's going to happen.
The words can send you to prison, but the action cannot.
Oh.
Well, you guys are lucky in the States that those laws aren't coming down there, because at least you've got Trump that, is a little bit, people make fun of him and whatever, and they go, I don't like him or whatever, but at least he's doing level-headed things and he's getting rid of that woke shit, but it's all woke, and that's what's coming into Canada.
Tommy,
here.
I said this to you
woke,
before.
It's unbelievable.
I said this to you before. Those people that hate or dislike Donald J. Trump, it's all a delusion. It's all TDS. In the fucking psychological world, it's actually now and is in the House right now to be passed that TDS is an actual mental health condition. And furthermore, I have a friend of mine that is a psychologist. His practice has doubled, almost tripled, with people coming in shaking of delusions of grandeur that Trump is taking everything away from the American people. I said I would go out and unalive myself if I had to put up with that every fucking day.
Yeah. Well, the liberals up here have Trump derangement syndrome, but they don't call it that. They just say
very bad.
You guys like
bad.
Me are like MAGA. They use the term MAGA, right? That the conservatives are MAGA, and they have TDS to such a degree that they just think that everybody up here is like bad. They're like bad people because they're MAGA, and you're associated with MAGA. You're MAGA. You're like far right MAGA people, and like you're bad. You're like
let's
America great again.
Let's nip this in the bud right now.
Good.
MAGA is a movement. It is not a fucking. It's not a fucking cult.
It's a slogan.
It's a slogan. Oh, just because I supported Donald Trump, I'm MAGA. No. Okay, make America great again. It's a slogan. It's jargon. It's propaganda. It's a fucking saying, people. Are you that fucking stupid or completely radicalized in your brain?
Well, when I was going flagways, people would look at the flag and say "F Trump," you know.
They're trying to say that you can't fly the American flag in front of your house because of Trump. Exactly. That was a new one I heard today.
What they've done up here in Canada is that they have bastardized the term to mean like a far-right extremist. You could exchange that with the term MAGA. Or for us in Alberta here, we're like a SEPI, or we're a traitor. You know what I mean? Like you can exchange any one of those terms
you would be a mock,
to be like someone that's far-right.
Does the word fascist mean anything in Canada?
There you go. Same thing. Throw in the word fascist.
Oh, my goodness. In Canada, it would mean maca. Make. Yeah.
I have a hat. I actually have a hat. Make
Canada great again.
Somewhere around here I have it. You know, wearing that hat got to be a bad thing because you were associated with Trump. You're MAGA if you had a Make Canada Great Again hat. It's all...
Basically, you wear anything red here. If you wear red, you're MAGA.
You can be walking down the street. This is legitimate, Carrie. You know how it is here in Florida. You don't live very far from me.
No.
If you walk down the street and God forbid you're walking through a demonstration line or a protest line, just because you have that red fucking shirt on and you're not even apart, you're just walking down the fucking street, you're going to be attacked. By these idiots.
Exactly. It's dangerous.
I go and I document protests all the time. I don't have anything on that says MAGA or about politics. And just because I'm sitting there with a fucking camera in my hand documenting this bullshit, I am automatically not on their side. And I don't say two words to the fucking morons, because if I did, I would fucking just lose my mind.
I've been there.
Is it that way up there too, Tommy?
Well, not so much with color, but it's really, really polarized between people that are on the right and on the left. There's a lot of, put it this way, the people that are on the right don't hate people that are on the left. You know, they do what they do, and they're odd and whatever. They do stuff that's weird and whatever. They have their own woke mentality and whatever, but they really hate the people that are on the right, and they will call you every name in the book, slander you, throw you under the bus, you know, call you you're not a Canadian, whatever. And you know, that's just the way it is. We just live with it, you know.
Here's the best part about it. Gordon, Tommy, Carrie, 10th Man, you could probably recite the definition of the word fascist. If you go to a protest and you ask one of those complete and total morons, what is the definition of fascist? They're not going to give you the definition. They don't know it. They say Donald Trump. That's what they say. Because if you got somebody with a brain, they're going to pull their phone out and AI is going to tell them what fascist means. And then you say, look at your behavior right this second, and automatically You're the fascist. You're the one that is the worst piece of scum on earth.
And they try to kick you out of their party, and they want an open border, but they won't. They won't let you come to their protest.
We have fascism watch in the channel here. So yes, it means something, weirdo.
Well, it does mean something. Look at your behavior. Look at the way you act.
Somebody using
no,
the term.
it really doesn't mean anything anymore because they all go around calling everybody a fascist this and fascist that.
Fascist, racist, Nazi.
Okay, look at that right there.
All those words.
There's
really
what
mean.
Maple MAGA.
There's what we're called in
know what
Canada.
all this
I'm called
stuff is.
Maple MAGA. Maple MAGA. Okay, now you tell me what that means, right? Somebody
I'll tell you what it means, Tommy. I can tell you what Maple MAGA means. Let me tell you what it means. I was sitting down at breakfast this morning. I don't think y'all realize how special you think you are. I don't understand how people can be so selfish. Tommy, I was sitting down inside my mansion this morning, and you guys are over here talking about MAGA this, fascist this. Let me tell you.
And kick them out.
Thank you, Alberta. My mansion's paid for by the great place called Alberta. Let me tell you, Tommy, y'all don't even know how selfish you are. I ran out of oil to put on my maple pancakes this morning, Tommy. How are the great people of Ottawa going to deal with this circumstances when we don't have oil for our waffles, for our breakfast, Tommy? Where is the fairness in that?
Then why don't you go down to AutoZone or the auto parts store and pay $20 for it? How's that?
Yeah. Well, you don't need oil for your pancakes there. You need maple syrup, and that comes from Eastern Canada, by the way. We don't even have any.
Don't you know the maple syrup, the real maple syrup, is my favorite. I love you guys in Alberta. Thank you for paying for my homes, for my children's sex changes, and all the sex changes of Canada. I appreciate that, Tommy. Thank you, and I appreciate your money. But let me tell you, the real syrup comes from Canada. That oil is beautiful.
Well, just remember our Prime Minister of Canada, his son or daughter or whatever. I don't remember whether he started out was a son or a daughter, but anyways, had that some kind of a sex change or something there. Apparently. So it comes from the top down in Canada here.
It starts at the top down here in the United States, and let me tell you, ain't doing nobody any fucking favors, I promise you.
Fascism watch. By the way, you guys like calling people fascist and Nazis and stuff like that. And like, I really, I don't like hearing that because I actually visited Germany, okay? I had the opportunity to visit a concentration camp. I actually stood in a gas chamber, looked up at the ceiling where that little tube pumped the gas into the chamber. And I also saw right next to it was about 20 ovens where they shoved the bodies into to incinerate them. So, I don't like hearing people using the terms fascist, Nazi, and stuff like that. I really, take a little bit of insult to hearing that kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's said everywhere here, Tommy. You know this.
It's ridiculous. And, I never liked hearing the word Hitler, fascism, Nazi, any of that kind of stuff, or referring to anything back to the Second World War. I think it's despicable, unbelievable.
Well, here's the thing. I tell everybody this. If you don't like it here in the United States, send me a message, DM me, whatever. Tell me where you think that you're going to have a better life. I will pay a one-way ticket for you and your family to go there. But mind you, wait a minute, Carrie. Let me finish.
Okay.
I will pay for that whole fucking ticket for you and your family to go there. What's going to happen, and I can almost guarantee within probably 99% that you're going to want to come back after you get out of prison or where concentration camp, whatever, and kiss the fucking ground you just came in and walked on. Because let me tell you, I'm a nationalist, I'm a realist. Okay? You will not find another fucking country that gives you the civil liberties that the United States of America gives United States citizens. It goes back to what we just said, the feelings police. You're going to get a knock on the door for calling or saying, go fuck yourself to somebody. Here, this is the answer I have for you. Go fuck yourself. Get out of my country if you don't like it. Rosie O'Donnell did it. I feel like
that's an
Why is
invitation.
Spin City so scary?
Rosie O'Donnell fucking did it. And guess where the bitch is? Right back here, because Ireland was worse than the United States.
Yep.
Yep. She didn't like it there.
I'd like to take you up on that invitation, sir.
Are you in the U.S.?
I am Lark Carney, my friend.
Do it.
I thought Whoopi Goldberg was going to get out of the States, too, when Donald Trump got in.
What did you say, Tommy?
I said I thought Whoopi Goldberg was going to leave the United States when Trump got in.
No, fuck no. She's got a $1 million deal to be on The View, and everybody sits there and makes fun of her because she's fucking a moron.
She knows where her bread's
I have watched more videos, Tommy, of her getting fucking tore the fuck up by guests that they have on The View, and she's speechless. And then whenever The View figures out that the truth or fact outweighs their view, they go to a commercial break. Of course.
Yeah, they cut it.
Whoopi Goldberg had a sex change.
Hang on.
She was
Fascism Watch lives in Quebec. Let me ask you something. Do you appreciate the money, the equalization payment money that you get from Alberta? Like, you get the majority of the equalization payment. Do you appreciate it? Do you like it? Will you be feeling terrible if you lost that money?
I love the money. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to Canada, Tommy.
Money.
I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, but is that money taxed?
My favorite part after eating the waffles with that oil, Tommy, is the way it looks when it comes out.
Oh,
but is that money? Is that money that Quebec gives you? Is it taxed as well? Is it taxed?
No, Alberta gives the money to Ottawa, and then Ottawa gives it to Quebec. Here, this is a song for you in Quebec.
Freedom isn't free, Tommy.
YMCA.
Huh.
What pisses me off, is people do not understand the civil liberties that the United States has.
See, look at this. We send money from the tar sands, right? We extract tar from the tar sands, turn it into oil, and then the money from that goes to Ottawa, and then it goes to Quebec.
Digital money.
And right there, you can see the guy that lives in Quebec says, I oppose the tar sands. I oppose the tar sands. Well, you certainly like the money from the tar sands. You don't oppose the money.
They forget the monetary value, Tommy. They forget the monetary value and that deposit that they may get once a month or once a year. So it's like... And half these fucking people don't even know what they're protesting or what they're pushing back against.
Well, then why are you taking our money then? Why are you taking our money? Why are you guys... See, the only reason that you're getting money from Alberta when those equalization payments are like that is because you guys threatened to leave Canada. You go, oh, we're going to leave Canada. And then you never do leave Canada. But, oh, we'll get more money. Send us more money over here or else we're going to leave Canada. That's what Quebec does there. Just get the hell out. Just leave Canada. Have another vote and leave Canada.
It's called bad faith negotiations. That's exactly what it is.
Why take our money?
It's bad faith negotiations, bad faith propaganda. Oh, well, it's just
Quebec.
like if they don't like right now, people are leaving New York City. They are threatening to leave big businesses because of all the tax hikes that they are trying to push through. Well, you know what? New York City's going to be a dumpster before too long. And I'm going to give you one reason why.
Marxist
Dummy.
dumpster.
What's that?
A Marxist dumpster.
That too. Well, fuck
What
Tommy.
happens if they elect a
Dumpsters are
Republican
great.
governor in New York?
I love dumpsters.
Fuck Tommy.
Especially the great dumpster of Alberta.
They canceled the ball drop last year for New Year's Eve, right? And then what they did is they cordoned off a section in front of where the symbolic, iconic New Year's Eve ball drop in New York City and gave it to the fucking Muslims. So every day, 5 times a day, there's a section in Times Square where they're laying down like a gook on a grass mat, fucking praying to whatever life form they think they're going to have.
Careful.
Every day.
We don't want to get hate speech.
It's not a hate speech.
Chill out a bit, bro.
I love these guys
Yeah.
here.
I'll be getting a hate speech knock on the
love
door.
Alberta.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
long enough, Alberta will be a great dumpster like
everybody has their
people of
freedom.
Quebec.
RCMP.
Everybody has the freedom of whoever they want to pray to. I'm all for that. That's the First Amendment, okay?
You can
Of
pray
the
to me.
Constitution.
Well,
But to cordon off
you're
an
good.
area in the biggest tourist part of New York City,
And stop
that's a little
everything.
crazy to me.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you that I visited many Muslim countries, and I never saw them up praying out in the streets. They don't do that in their own countries. They only do it in North America as a sign that, okay, we have the numbers. We have the numbers. There's enough of us out here. And now we're going to do it, and we're going to break the law. Obviously you can't block traffic, but they block traffic all the time doing that, both in the
All
States
day,
and in Canada.
every day. All day,
It's a
every
show of
day.
force.
5 times a day.
Yeah.
I'm out at east.
It's just like
Everybody
the
thinks they're
LGB.
praying to their God, but they're really praying to me.
It's
All
like
hail
it's like
Carney.
the LGBTQAI plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and how many other acronyms that are behind it. I don't care.
I'm just
going to
keep pushing it till you get
behind closed
CARNEY.
doors. I don't care what you do behind closed doors. I don't need to see it in the streets. My children don't need to see it in the streets. My grandchildren don't need to see it. And they damn sure don't need to see it in the classroom. Period.
They should be learning.
Leering.
What are they learning?
LGBT plus Q
They're not learning anything.
Leering
CDRNEY.
centers. We don't want leering
Shouldn't.
centers.
Well, that's what it's
it'd take
become.
forever to learn
Is
all
the
those,
Leering Center.
If we don't have Leering centers, how am I going to get elected?
Oh, wow.
Oh
It's
my
like we're
God,
living in
trolling.
the Twilight Zone.
Super fucking troll, man. Damn.
We're like,
And they have classes teaching them how to try to remember all those genders.
yeah. Well, there was a, I think he was a teacher in BC. He said that there were only 2 genders, and the Human Rights Commission in BC hit him with a $750,000 fine. That's
Yeah.
how ridiculous. it's
Well,
getting.
did you see the latest on Ileana Omar, Tommy?
No, I think they want to kick her out of the country, don't they?
They want to kick her out of the fucking country. They're probably going to charge her with what's that offense? Hiding money or disposing of income or lying on her taxes and all this other stuff. The report was she was worth $30 million one day and then only worth $1 million the next. Tax evasion or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah. And she was her hubby or whatever was owner of a winery, which aren't they supposed to be against alcohol?
Yes.
Like, come on.
Well, she married her brother to get citizenship, and then she divorced his ass because he probably wasn't giving her the big old deep dick. And then she married a white dude.
Oh my gosh.
That is exactly what happened. That is exactly the story.
All I can say is Allah Akbar.
She was supposed to get married to me. She went to the Quality Learning Center for her education and ended up going to the wrong country.
Yeah.
The Learning Center. Oh, we lost a few people there. Let's see, who'd we lose? 12th man.
Yeah, and Chinese, whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's your friend, isn't he?
Nope. I've never seen him before.
No, he's from Canada.
I don't know what his handle was in the chat there. Hard to say. Yeah, Fascism Watch says that he comes from a family of journalists, so he's very knowledgeable.
Huh.
Oh,
and stayed at the Holiday Inn.
He was following the ostrich incident there in BC, I think.
Yeah, I was going to show Ilhan Omar how to take advantage of oil and to make money, be profitable. But she went to the wrong country.
Well, she was in the wrong fucking country. She's in the wrong country to begin with, and she never should have had any type of seat on any branch of our government. I believe, and I don't know, Tommy, you might share this same belief, that if you are not born and bred in the United States, you should not be able to hold any type of political office.
Exactly.
And that's what makes me a nationalist.
Yeah, I would say the same thing in Canada. Yeah,
if we try to prosecute her, we'd be stuck with her. Let's keep her in prison and not get anything. If she goes home, she's not losing anything because she still
we're
has
having the same problem up here in Canada, that we've got too many people that were not born in Canada that come here from other countries and then bring everything that they come from their other country with them, get into politics, and then start pushing those agendas that they bring along with them. And it's not right. It's not good for the country, and I don't like it. But, the problem is if you get, enough people that weren't born in your country into office, then how the hell do you vote something in to change it, to make it, you need to be born in the country? They're never going to vote for it.
Well, other than the money that she's hiding, she's got all the fucking kickbacks and everything that of all the fraud and the scams that she was letting the Somali pirates in to do and take federal money, which is in the billions, right? And we don't, here in the United States, we do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. It's a republic. And that's the other fucking thing I'm so tired of here. This is what democracy looks like. No, this is what a republic, a constitutional republic looks like. It's just, yeah.
Well,
I heard that
I don't
people
say,
in the United States,
Canada it's different. It's different, but I don't say that I hate democracy. I love democracy. Hey, if the Liberals get in, which they have in Canada, and the left are the Liberals, and they're the ones running Canada, I can't do anything about that, But the problem is that what the reason that they get in, it's the reasons, right? So, for example, in Canada, the Liberals bring in just a ton of immigrants, right? Now, again, people are going to go, oh, well, Tommy Temper, you're a racist for talking about immigration. But I'm not talking about any particular group, but they bring in so many people. And when you bring in immigrants, and you're in power, they remember who it is that brought them in, and that's who they vote for. So you're bringing in literally millions and millions over a period of 10 years. If you bring in, even if it's like 500,000 people a year, that is so many millions of people, and they settle in those areas, like in Toronto, in Montreal, in the eastern provinces, and that's where all the Liberal votes come from. That's where all the Liberals are. They stack the deck.
Mob rule. You have
it's
mob
freaking
rule.
ridiculous. And the Democrats tried doing that too, because when they were in power, they brought in masses of people because they knew damn well those people would all be voting for them.
Yep.
You know that Kamala Harris was like the greatest prosecutor. She was going to prosecute all the people.
Get over half,
in the
you
United
got it
States
made.
government, but she misspelled the word prosecuted, and she wrote in prostituted instead.
Well, so far every government that has used democracy have failed.
Well, that's why all the government officials weren't prosecuted, because they all became prostitutes.
From Greece all the way up to France.
It's the deck gets stacked, the different parties try, and let's face it, the right or the left, either side is going to try and stack the deck so that they win the election, but what can you do about it? That's politics.
Well, I mean, everybody, I've learned, everybody doesn't agree on politics, whether it's the left, the right, the liberals, or whatever your system is up there. It just seems like Canada gets behind movements or gets behind people or their citizens or whatever, and actually gets something done. We have a problem here just to keep the government open right this minute to pay people, because you've got people in a pissing match because of Donald Trump. That's all it is. If there was a real politician, an actual politician, because Donald Trump is by no means a politician. He's a businessman. Okay? He is about making a deal. Making a deal to potentially make people's lives better. A politician needs legislation. They keep the government open for a politician.
Yeah.
They don't keep it open because of Donald Trump. And that's stupid. And Kerry, I think you know where I'm going with that.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. Look at that comment right there. You transform the political angle of the enemies you create yourself. And he says, genocide equals far right. And who's the far right?
That would be your opposition, Tommy, the far right.
Well, I know, but people say that I'm the far right, I don't think I'm far right at all. I think I'm just right wing, but apparently if I'm wanting independence from Canada, then I'm far right. I'm MAGA, and all the rest of it.
Well, there is a such thing called I stand in the middle. Yes, I lean right, but I do not believe in all of Donald Trump's ideology or policies. I never claimed that I did.
Yeah.
But I am not going to have some laughing, cackling hyena and a guy that thinks that boys need tampons be in control of my government.
That's who's running Canada. He's the tampon king.
Yes, I know. I saw articles on that. By the way,
Old Goat, this is not the Ryan Jesperson show, and I've actually unsubbed from Ryan Jesperson, and that's why you don't see me over there anymore. I'm sick and tired of his lefty bullshit on that show. Every time I go there, he times me out, and I refuse to sit in a channel that I get timed out. Just for saying hi in his chat, I get timed out now. Old Goat, nice to see you.
Well, Prairie says, can you bring that up, Tommy? The last comment.
Which one?
The last one. The very last one. Get the fuck out. Here. Nope. Keep going.
Something is very wrong with Canada.
Yeah. And then Prairie says, get the fuck out. Genocide. That one obviously doesn't know the meaning of the word.
Well, right here. This one.
Yep.
The fascism watch.
Yeah. I mean, define the word genocide then.
Right. Yeah. What is it?
What is it?
Well, it's, I look at it as being mass extermination of people, basically.
That means exterminate the whole lot.
There you
mass
go.
Extermination is far right.
Genocide is what happens in my toilet every morning.
I agree with that one.
JENNACIDE.
I need me some tampon Tim. I need to get some tampons to cover up this leakage. Sometimes this oil is not doing well for me.
Oh, jeez. You got the green gash syndrome.
Oh, God. It just gets worse and worse as the hours go on, Tommy, doesn't it? I cut my panels off at 2 o'clock because after 2 o'clock, I can't deal with the complete degeneration.
You notice how everybody
Canada
puts
great again.
World War
Tampons
II
for everybody.
instead of the...
I know. Well, fascism watch. I'm trying to decide which side are you on, left or right, because you're bashing Carney, but you seem to be a left winger by the stuff that you're saying.
Instead of putting Roman numerals, now they're putting actual numbers. It won't show us 11. I wish that
Polyev was the prime minister.
Well, if we can get enough people to eat and drink oil all day, thank you, Canada, thank you, Alberta, I appreciate that. If we can get enough people to eat and drink enough oil and take enough jabs, well, we won't have to worry about genocide. It'll take care of itself.
Tommy, I got a question on the jab.
Back in the day of Charles Manson, I don't think people, worried too much about left or right back then. It was just he was crazy.
No, there was no. It was flower power.
Did Canada make their citizens take the jab? Did I hear that somewhere?
Oh yeah, what they did is you needed to have a passport showing that you were jabbed in order to get into a restaurant, for example. So
I would be
they
back
didn't force you to take it, but they did things that were like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't travel, you can't do a lot of things unless you had the job. So it was like they didn't say that you had to. And a lot of jobs, people were fired from their jobs if they didn't get the jab, like nurses.
Well, that was happening here, but it wasn't mandatory. But they seriously, highly, and emphatically recommended that you did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because obviously they can't make you, go out and do it here in the United States.
No, but they enticed you. They made it so that you couldn't do a lot of things unless you did. So, for example, if your kid was in hockey, for example, like they didn't make children take it, that was one thing. But if your kid was in hockey, in order for you to go into that hockey rink, you had to have the passport to show that you were jabbed, right? So you couldn't go and watch your kid play hockey. Stuff like that they did.
Brett's in the back, Tommy.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see that there. Okay, let's hear what Brett has to say. He'll be calm, cool, and collected, I bet. Hey, Brett.
Quite,
yeah, right.
Actually. Quite. I
Nice.
absolutely get blown away listening to kindergarten politics from fucking morons with your dumb left-right bullshit. You people are completely fucking clueless that the left and the right have the same behind-the-scenes controllers. They want you divided with your dumb left-right shit. You fucking morons are like, the left, the liberals, the libtards.
Well, don't tell everybody. We're supposed to keep that secret hidden. Let me get you some free oil from Alberta.
Dumb as a fucking sack of hammers, and you're doing exactly what the establishment wants you to do, fighting with your fellow citizens over dumb fuck shit that they have set up. The whole immigration crisis. It's all done on purpose.
specifically, a sack of hammers can make a lot of people a lot of money.
You fucking idiots up.
Do you like seeing so many Brett, do you like seeing so many immigrants come into the country? Do you think it's good for the country?
Hey, dipshit. I'm bright enough to understand that I don't blame the immigrants or the refugees.
I'm not blaming the immigrants. I'm not blaming the refugees.
Hey, fuckface.
I'm blaming the system that brings so many in.
You're not.
You're misunderstanding that.
No, you're not. You support
It's not
the
about
system.
who they're bringing in.
You're
it's
so
about
dumb.
the fact that they're bringing in so many people.
You're a fucking moron. You support the system that's bringing them in. Because
I don't support the liberals
yes,
at all. I don't support that system.
Yes, you fucking do.
No,
because you adhere.
Brett,
you adhere.
what you need to do is get some of that good Albertan
oil
oil and use it for solutions.
I think that they're bringing in way too many people.
Shut up. You support the system, and I can tell that you do that, and you're very openly and blatantly about doing that because of your dumb fucking left-right shit. I just heard you say, I wish Polyev was fucking prime minister. Guess what? Polyev is a career politician, globalist. He's a fucking puppet. Like, you are literally supporting the system with that dumb fucking shit.
I know, but
you're not bright enough to understand.
The point is that you never ever say you never say what should happen. Like, what's the solution? You don't like the left. You don't like the right. What's the solution?
You aren't bright enough to understand that Polyev is a career politician, groomed for position, and he's a fucking puppet. All you think about is dumb fucking right-left shit, which is kindergarten politics meant for sheeple. The sheeple talk right-left dumb fucking shit.
But you say the same thing every time, but you never give us the solution. What's the solution?
You are a knuckle-dragging, idiot fucking sheeple.
No, you don't just call people names, but you need to come up with the solution. What's the solution?
The solution, dumb cunt, is
the solution, Brett. I got it for you. I am going to send you some free lube.
Go fuck off.
The great province of Alberta, so that it slides in.
You have no idea. I would fucking end you. Just shut your fucking mouth, whoever the fuck you are. You're not bright enough. You're not bright enough to fucking understand shit. Same as Tommy, same as Spin City, same as all y'all.
Come up with the solution.
Aren't fucking intelligent enough. Yeah, the solution is, dumb cunt, to stop voting for these corrupt globalist parties.
So we stop voting left, we stop voting right.
So that's your problem right there, Tommy. The solution is to stop viewing things in left versus right crap.
Okay,
you can't.
Who do we vote for?
Tommy, you cannot get your fucking brainwashed, conditioned fucking head out of the left versus right garbage. You are an indoctrinated.
Give me a solution.
You are an indoctrinated, conditioned fucking sheeple with your dumb left-right bullshit. And
guess what? If Alberta separates from Canada, then we won't be left, we won't be right. We'll have a brand new government, a brand new system. It'll be starting all over from scratch. That's what you want.
Idiot.
Hey, you better vote for independence because that's exactly what you want.
You better suck my fucking dick, you fucking useful idiot. You are a useful idiot of the establishment. That's what you are, Tommy.
No,
you're a fucking useful idiot of the establishment. The establishment wants you arguing right, left, dumb fucking bullshit. The establishment wants you voting. Shut up. Whoever this idiot is, shut this cunt up. The establishment wants you to vote red or vote blue. The establishment wants you to hate liberals or hate conservatives. The establishment wants you to blame everything on the right or the left. The establishment wants you to keep voting red and keep voting blue. This is what the establishment wants.
Just take a breath.
You dumb cunt, you keep giving the establishment, shut your fucking mouth. The establishment,
hang on. Who do you support?
You keep giving the establishment exactly what they want. Every time.
You don't give the establishment what they want. Who do you support?
Every time you bash the left,
you're helping the establishment. Every time you vote conservative, you're helping the establishment. You're just too old and brainwashed and conditioned and indoctrinated to remove yourself from the dumb fuck.
Should I vote for the Marxist Party or the Communist Party? Which party should I vote for?
Brainwashed and indoctrinated
or Marxist?
To not only remove yourself from the right-left shit, but to stop voting liberal and conservative. You are giving the establishment exactly what they want. You're just not bright enough to see it.
Hang on. So who do you recommend we vote for then?
I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you who not to fucking vote for. And you can't figure that out yet.
We don't want to know who you're going to vote for.
You're
who do you suggest that we vote for
you're
if it's not somebody
that's
on the ballot?
Conditioned. You're brainwashed and conditioned.
You can't vote for somebody that's not on the ballot.
You are brainwashed, conditioned, indoctrinated, and for whatever reason, because I've tried to help you with this now for 4 fucking years, and you're too stupid to get it, you can't not. You don't know how not to be bash the liberals, bash the left, vote conservative, give the establishment what they want. You can't not be that way. You don't know how to remove yourself and how to see a bigger picture and not be like that. You're giving the establishment what they want. You bash the left, you bash the liberals, you vote conservative, you divide yourself against your fellow citizens, and you give the establishment exactly what they want by bashing the left and voting for conservative. You help the establishment, and you're too indoctrinated, brainwashed, and fucking stupid to stop. It's called indoctrination,
in a
conditioning, and you help the establishment.
You're
just not fucking bright enough to realize it.
Okay.
Brett is a propaganda puppet that doesn't bring
who I
solutions.
think is a great party. Okay, then at least explain yourself and say, okay, if you're not going to vote right and not going to vote left, who the hell are you going to vote for when there's nobody else to vote for?
Dumb fuck, there is no right or left. That's where you've completely dropped the ball and don't have a clue how it works.
Well, okay, we've given those terms to the parties that are out there. You know, you can say there is no right, there is no left, but there are left-wing parties, there are right-wing parties.
No, there isn't.
Or you can call them left-centrist or right-centrist or whatever.
You don't get the bigger picture,
but the generic term is going to be conservatives are generally right-wing and liberals are generally left-wing.
The bigger picture.
NDP in Canada are generally further left-wing than liberals.
The exact same people control both sides, moron.
Yeah, Tommy.
The exact same people control both sides.
Why are you voting, Tommy?
One party is better for the country than the other. That's my point.
You're fucking dumb.
Just like in the States, one party is better for the country than the other.
The exact same fucking people control the right as they do control the left. You
Tommy,
just don't see the bigger picture.
I can't believe Tommy's voting.
Well, they keep switching parties too. You know, like they flip flop all the time.
You completely don't understand the bigger picture.
And the next day, the MP is over in the liberal side. So you're right. They are kind of the same people.
Sheeple. You're a useful idiot sheeple.
Tommy,
that's what you are.
Well, that's why we want to. That's why we want to have our own country here and start our own system.
That's not going to fix it, you dumb fuck. Especially when you have little fucking puppet fucking traitors like Danielle Smith.
Brett presents so many solutions.
Danielle Smith is doing a good job.
Danielle Smith is a fucking floor-crossing traitor, you idiot.
Tommy, you got somebody in the back.
Great.
She's a floor-crossing traitor.
She's great.
Because of Danielle Smith, that's why the NDP won the election. Because of her being a floor-crossing traitor. She threw the election. You don't understand shit, man. You're wrapped up in right-left dumb fuck propaganda like a fucking sheeple.
I know that happened. I know that
You're
that
a
happened.
fucking sheeple.
Brett is wrapped up so much in telling people what they're doing wrong that he can't take responsibility.
Brett, can I ask you a question?
Right.
But I also know that you've never answered my question. I have one question.
Brett, can I ask you a question? Brett, can I ask you a question?
Welcome, Dimebag.
I guess not.
I can hear you, hate stupid people.
Hallelujah.
Stupid people bother the fuck out of me.
Okay, well, I'm not fucking stupid.
Yes, you are. You're a fucking
Trump-supporting MAGA moron.
So I'm going to
ask you this question. I'm not MAGA. Okay.
Yes,
you are.
You're MAGA.
I've heard you fucking support and defend Trump
that's
right through his
That's right.
pedophile
I forgot.
fucking Epstein bullshit. You are fucking MAGA and you're a fucking
Epstein.
moron.
Oh man,
what the
we
fuck
never
you
talked
want?
about Epstein all night.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, dumb fuck. Would you vote to pay more money for stuff, or would you vote to pay less money for stuff?
Yeah.
What kind of dumb fucking question is this?
That's a pretty good question.
It's not a good question. It's a pointless fucking question.
It's not.
It's going nowhere.
I could answer that
Answer the question.
I'd vote to spend less money for to live.
Answer the question, Brett.
It's a pointless fucking dumbass question, and you're again not realizing.
No, I'm about to strongman you on your stupidity.
Right and left have the same puppet master behind the scenes controller.
No, they don't. Because
yes, they fucking do.
Listen, Brett. Brett, this is between me and you.
In your pocket.
Tommy,
this is between me and you, Brett.
Why is it that Americans are figuring it out and us fucking Canadians are not figuring it out?
Because they got people like you that want to vote for something else.
Your opinion is of no relevance to me.
Oh my! Exactly.
Tom,
you want to know why?
How the fuck is it that Americans are figuring it out? How is it that Americans are going like, wait, the Republicans and Democrats, it doesn't matter because AIPAC controls both sides. We're getting fucked. We're getting walked into wars either way, Democrat or Republican, because the lobbyists like AIPAC control both, in quotes, sides.
That's right there.
That's the shit that you aren't figuring out, Tommy. That it doesn't matter.
But you also have
left.
stuff like
the lobbyists like AIPAC are running and controlling it. Your dumb fucking right-left shit don't matter.
Answer my question, Brett.
I don't answer to you, you stupid dumb fuck. I hate Spin City.
Sorry, so I'll answer it for you.
No, you won't answer anything for me.
You would vote for cheaper prices. Here's the strong man. If you were to vote for cheaper prices, you would vote right.
You know what, you stupid
left.
dumb fuck.
Dumb fuck.
You're a schmuck. Because you're ruled by your wallet. That's how you vote. You vote with your fucking wallet. That's what you vote with. Yes, you do.
I don't.
That you literally are asking the question, do you vote for more expensive stuff or less expensive stuff? That's what you're ruled by. That's what most North Americans are ruled by, is their wallet. Who's going to give me more money in my wallet? Who's going to give me cheaper shit? Who's going to give me bigger tax breaks? Who's going to save me money on gas? Who's going to save me money on groceries? That's how you vote. That's
the Republicans here in the United States.
You don't vote with a fucking brain.
Here.
You don't vote with a brain. It's not about,
I'm going to vote. Wait a minute. I'm going to vote with a brain. So I want some cackling fucking moron representing the United States. I'm going to have some cackling fucking moron representing the United States that will lose respect of pretty much every country that she may or may not come in contact with. I want tampons in a boy's bathroom for cis men to shove up their ass.
Respect. I don't know what world you live in, but the United States...
I don't know what world you live in, bro.
The United States does not have respect, you stupid schmuck. It doesn't.
Maybe not to you.
The entire fucking planet hates the United States of Israel. Between you and Israel, you're the most hated countries on planet Earth. And you're not fucking bright enough to understand
Israel.
You know what? You have Carney pick a fight with the U.S. We'll show you what we can really do.
Oh, like Iran?
Fuck with us, you dumb fuck.
Like Iran, who's embarrassing you?
Who's
like a paper tiger?
No.
You're a fucking paper tiger.
Here's
the fact.
Iran is embarrassing you.
If we wanted to, and if Trump wanted to, we alone could go in there and wipe Iran off the fucking map. Just like we could go, just like we could come into Canada
and
fucking erase Canada off the fucking map
with
two flips of a button.
Just nuke everywhere that you don't agree with, right? Because you're the good guys.
But we
you're
didn't.
Go nuke Iran because you're the good guys, just like you invaded them and bombed them to start this war. Iran didn't do anything to you. You started it.
No, get your fucking facts straight, you fucking moron.
You started
Get your facts straight, moron.
You started it for the United States of Israel.
Israel started this fucking shit. It
What'd
wasn't
you
the United States. Get your fucking facts straight.
You bombed little girls in their school and are trying to threaten Iran when you don't have any cards. You aren't the good guys. You started this fucking war.
We've got more cards. We have more cards than Canada will ever have.
You are not the good guys. There is no world exists where you are the good guys. You are the war criminal, invaders, starters of war who bomb little girls in schools. You are definitely the bad guys, and the world knows it. So for you to try and sit there and act like you're some kind of...
Maybe the world that's in your head...
Shut your fucking whore mouth. For you to sit there and act like you're some sort of good guy, upper echelon fucking country.
Why don't you do me a favor? Go lick your girlfriend's fucking gas some more and fucking get some more fucking seaweed in your fucking brain.
I already been there, done that. Maybe you should try and find a girl.
Maybe you should go back to doing that.
There, Brett. Brett, you were very nice to me. I said hi to you when you're driving down the road, and you said, "Tommy, get out of here! I don't want you in my chat."
Yeah, you're timed out in my channel forever. You're timed out in my channel forever.
Yeah, well,
you're timed out in my channel forever because your mods suck shit.
Timed out in
and yes, I am. Yes, I am. Your mods fucking time us all out, loser, and buddy. You don't care. So go fuck yourself.
I didn't. When did you come home? I thought you said that you came home and fucked me.
I'll take the wrench away. Tell me who it is.
You dump. We've already told you, Tommy, numerous times, and you never do anything. So shove it up your ass. You never take away wrenches from your mods. You never fucking get your mods in line.
Who are you gonna vote for?
You sit there and fucking let your mods run your channel. You even said that on your stream the other day. The mods run my chat. I have no control over them. They do whatever they want.
So Tommy canceled from his channel. He certainly spends a lot of time
following Tommy. You don't give a fuck about your chat, and you let your mods do whatever the fuck they want. So you suck.
I'll give you a wrench. I
don't want your fucking wrench. Shove it up your ass. I'd use my wrench to bash your fucking head open.
I can't quit you.
Why do you think you need to go back and live in your own head and think, Brett, about if you would vote to pay more in taxes or less in taxes?
See, you're another fucktard moron that only thinks in right versus left dumb shit.
Because that's what the world is.
No, it's not.
You fix your wife by beating her up, don't you?
It's not what the world is at all. That's how you think about it. That's how you approach it. That's the brainwashing and conditioning that you have. But that's not how the world is. And the Americans are figuring out, obviously not Spin City because he's not bright enough, but a massive amount of Americans.
People for the same reasons YouTube cancels people.
A massive amount of Americans
can't handle the truth.
Are figuring out that it doesn't matter if you vote Republican or Democrat, you're getting fucked by AIPAC. Like
Daisy says,
obviously Spin City isn't bright enough to figure it out, but a lot of other Americans are. And they're figuring it out before Canadians. That this whole right-left shit doesn't matter. Dan Bilzerian knows it. He's running for Congress in Florida.
So hold on. So if that was a fact, why have in the last year 2 million Canadians have moved permanently to the United States?
Are you even talking about? Do you even have any clue or idea
I'm talking about
all
facts, sir.
How many doctors and nurses have moved from the U.S. to Canada?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
So?
What? They moved from Canada to the States. What are you talking about?
No, not anymore, Tommy.
Because they're not making enough money.
Are you familiar with Todd Maffin?
They're getting
Todd Maffin has been launching a massive campaign, and he has brought hundreds of
moving up there.
Well,
where the hell are their offices? Because we're all looking for doctors here. Where the hell are all their offices?
12-hour wait at the emergency line at the hospital then.
No shit.
Because I can answer that if you fucking shut up and let me answer.
Okay, why?
You do a lot of talking. We let you do a lot of talking. You talk a lot,
He doesn't
bud.
like to
If I'm asked questions, you want answers, I'll give them.
Government isn't providing funding, right?
No, it's because our healthcare system has been mismanaged and underfunded on purpose. It's been ran into the ground on purpose.
By who?
By the government of Canada.
Both there liberals, you go.
Okay, I would agree.
Both there you go.
I blame the liberals.
Shut your fucking mouth, idiot.
Liberals.
Both
you
liberals
just answered your own stupid idiocracy.
Oh, shut this fucking Spin City idiot up.
The great country of American Canada.
You don't understand, Tommy, that Stephen Harper, before becoming prime minister, headed a think tank on how to get our healthcare away from us. So
I just can't wait till he rage quits like normal.
Canada and U.S. are both sides of the same boat.
Would you listen to me for a minute? You're asking me questions, then won't let me answer.
Were trying to come up with ways to make the healthcare system more efficient, and maybe would have been to
answering Tommy. I don't answer to Spin City. Tommy wanted to know why our healthcare is so fucked up. I'm trying to answer it, but you stupid fucks aren't letting it sink in.
No, I'm hearing you.
Conservative under Harper. It is mismanagement and underfunding on purpose, designed specifically to run it into the ground to get sheeple morons to be like, we need to reject our healthcare system and we need to have a U.S. model, which, by the way, the U.S. hates. The U.S. hates they're the only country in the G7 that doesn't have fucking socialized healthcare. There's so much talk about socialized healthcare. They don't want a war with Iran for fucking Israel. They want healthcare. Kerry should want healthcare. He's getting older. He should want healthcare, not war with Iran.
We have healthcare.
Hey, Britt. No, you don't.
I have good healthcare. I'm calling tomorrow.
You have healthcare that you pay for. You don't have healthcare.
Tell us, Brett. Tell him what is
healthcare like the rest of us have healthcare.
What does that mean?
I don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Tell us what
are you that fucking delusional to think that you're not paying for healthcare? Are you that delusional, Brett, that you don't
how to
pay for healthcare?
Bring everyone together.
You're paying carbon tax for it.
You're paying taxes for your healthcare. You're still paying for it.
Dumb fuck. So does everybody else, like Sweden and Norway and fucking.
What?
Nothing's for free. Would you like to know what it's called? Would you like to know what it's called?
Nothing's
free. It's called democratic socialism. We pay more tax so that we have healthcare. That's how it works.
Guess what?
Correct.
Guess what? I don't wait 12 hours to get seen in an emergency room, sir.
You pay more tax so that you can bomb little girls in schools and have a fucking military that goes around the world committing war crimes. That's why you pay more tax.
In Edmonton, when it's wintertime and you're waiting 12 hours at the emergency, you're also filled with all the homeless people, all the poopy and pee-pee people that are there because they have no warm place to be. Oh, yeah, and you're going to spend 12 to 14 hours there, so you better enjoy it. Thank God for all them doctors. Woo! Ooh.
Here in the United States, it is 45. You may wait 30 minutes before you're seen.
Spin City is a fucking valid voice to anything.
Yeah, well,
what we need is
I'm a valid voice that I look at reality.
That I know for sure.
What we need is proper funding and management for our healthcare. That's what we need.
Yeah,
and
where you're going to find, and you're going to pay all these people?
Funding cuts.
The first thing to manage.
We have had cut funding and on purpose mismanagement, running it into the ground on purpose because there has been a concentrated effort to destroy our healthcare system to get dumb fucks saying, we're waiting too long in waiting rooms. Our surgeries are taking too long. It's being done on
purpose. Mod Squad.
It's being done on purpose and by design.
Carrie, how long have you ever waited in an emergency room if you needed it?
I don't know. I'm usually right in.
That's normally when I go there.
As long as you have money, right?
Okay, Mater is asking, Tommy, why are you letting Brett run this panel?
As long as you have money. If you don't have money, you're turned away from the hospital.
It has nothing to do with money.
Never.
Because Brett's a good friend of mine. I let him have.
We're not good friends.
I think you're properly triaged at the hospital.
Because we needed some pushback against your dumb fucking right-left dumb fuck shit.
Brett, there is
all I heard was you fucking idiots going,
but you've always got that on your mind, the right-left stuff, you know.
You're fucking little sheep.
There is a law in the United States.
You're little sheeple.
That we have the right to health care regardless of financial means. We are never turned away. Ever.
Yeah, that's not true. But
not even
whatever you want to think.
You can create a debt that's more than your, the money that you got, but you won't be turned away. They'll just let you create the debt.
Yeah,
that's right.
But we're not turned away.
You have to file bankruptcy. You have to sell your house.
You lose your house, but you're alive. Yeah. Yay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, you got a bill.
American healthcare is a fucking joke and non-existent. Literally everybody that's not in your little MAGA echo chambers, all they want is like no war with Iran and healthcare.
Then come down here and do something about it. You can join the Democratic Socialists of America.
I would go to fucking jail because people like you would be over.
I doubt it.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, you've got all that in front of you.
There's a reason I'm not allowed in your shithole country.
You're still complaining.
Look out!
Warning, warning, warning.
The point
you might as well play that again because I got a warning for anybody that tries.
You dumb fucks need to stop thinking about it in this whole left-right shit. This whole left-right crap, you're giving the establishment what they want.
Why aren't you allowed in the United States, Brett?
I know. You keep saying no left-right, but then you don't come up with
they want you morons to be fucking hating each other.
Don't vote left. What the hell are you going to vote for? What else is there?
That's exactly it, Tommy. You don't fucking get it because you're brainwashed and conditioned into the bullshit. You don't know how to think.
My question
was, answer is that?
That was my question.
Who do you vote
outside the box?
Mickey
you don't know
Mouse?
how to think otherwise.
So on your ballot, if you don't want to vote left or right, you just write Mickey Mouse or Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You brainwashed, conditioned, indoctrinated fucks don't understand.
That you make up or something? I don't know.
You don't get it.
Vote for the Green Party?
I talked about this. Is just exactly why I don't subscribe to you anymore, Tommy.
The PPC party.
This is exactly why I don't subscribe to you anymore.
You sure have a lot of opinions on this channel.
The Marxist Party.
4 years. I've tried to get it through in your fucking brainwashed, conditioned
You said the same thing for 4 years, but you've never actually answered the question.
4 years, I've been trying to get it through to you that if you vote liberal,
you haven't answered the question.
If you vote liberal or you vote conservative, if you hate the right or hate the left, you are helping the establishment. You don't get that you're helping the establishment.
The system has been there for eons.
You keep asking me.
You can't change the system.
Not helping anything.
You can, you idiot. You just won't do it. You just won't do it.
Here's the thing, Brett. The way you're voting isn't helping anything.
Because in order to change the system, you have to vote a party that's going to willingly change the system.
Listen, you stupid fucking schmuck.
Unless you want to go
This voice makes my balls shrivel up. Always hated that fucker.
You're dumb. Quote. You don't get it. You're too indoctrinated and brainwashed to understand that if you want change, you actually have to vote for change, which is not liberal or conservative. All you think about is right versus left, red versus blue. And what that does is help the establishment.
Brett, if the party you're voting for is Miss Piggy, hold on, Tommy.
You help the establishment.
So, Brett,
Tommy,
if you're not voting right or left,
I'm not listening to you. I'm not talking to you. I could give two fucks about you. You're a schmuck. I'd smack your fucking lips out your face, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, I wish you would try. I wish you would try,
buddy.
Oh my God.
If you
I was once known as Calgary's most wanted, okay? I will smack your fucking lips off your face.
That's why you're not allowed in the United States.
He's Mr. Hitman Hart.
Tommy,
Mater says that Brett lives in a halfway house. Hart knows all the answers.
Hold on,
You
Tommy.
help the establishment.
Tommy.
Now you're sitting here, Tommy, asking me, who do I vote for?
Right.
I'm not here to tell you who to vote for.
Just who not to vote for.
I'm telling you who not to vote for.
There you
Do
go.
not vote Liberal. Do not vote Conservative. Do not vote NDP.
Lots of questions, no answers. Perfect.
Pick something else that's
Lots of
not
answers, no
liberal,
solutions.
not conservative. I have lots of solutions.
So
Pick
give
something
'em.
else that's not liberal, not conservative, and not NDP. And
We
vote
all
for
don't
them,
get behind
because
something. It
doing
doesn't matter
that-
what you vote. So
Doing
what should we
that
vote
is
for?
actually voting for change. And
like old
hello,
Goat said,
people.
Elizabeth
Dimebag,
May.
can
We
you
should
hear
vote for
me?
Elizabeth
Hello,
May.
Can I ask
people.
you this question?
Sure.
Hello,
maybe
people.
it'll make
The
some sense
You
to
marijuana
you.
don't
party.
vote
How about the
liberal
Rhino
and
party?
you
If
don't vote
you are not
conservative,
voting left
somebody
or
else
right,
would make up
and
government.
you're voting for
That's
Miss
how
Piggy,
elections work.
how is Miss Piggy going to make the change?
Brett, I don't think there is a fascist party. I don't think there is.
I don't think Miss Piggy's a good choice.
Yeah, there is, Tommy. It's called the Liberals and the Conservatives. Both of those parties
We need
are
newcomers.
walking us into
Fascists.
fascism.
Lots
Oh, wow.
and lots of newcomers in the form of
I wonder if
the
fascists
great
watch would agree
province
with
of
that.
Alberta
The Liberals
and the
and
oil
the
that comes for free.
Conservatives are both walking us into fascism. I've been calling it out for more than 20 fucking years. Ever since Harper got in. And before. But especially since Harper got in. It was like,
Did you
we
vote for
are
Harper?
on the road to fascism. And it
you
doesn't
vote for
matter,
Harper?
conservative or liberal. Both of them are fucking
And without
marching
a
us right into
direction, they're not
fascism.
listening to you.
Pretty hard to hear.
Without a direction, they're not listening to you.
Of
And
course
Vader, have a
not.
good night, man.
No,
this
your
sawed-off leprechaun
your
can't
liberals
find his
and your
meat to feed him.
conservatives are listening to their lobbyists like AIPAC. Here in Canada, it's B'nai B'rith. That's the Israel lobby. Little fucking Pierre Polyev wears his little kippah, goes on fucking, makes it a little Pierre Polyev goes, wears his little kippah, goes on national television, says he's a bad guy, says it's fucking, he supports Israel 1,000%. It's all, we in Canada have the same problem as you do in the US with corruption via Israel. And it doesn't matter, liberal or conservative. They both are corrupt.
Looks pretty good for the
I
oil
support
patch, Tommy.
Israel with my Alberta
Well,
oil.
that's the first thing you might have said that's right. They're both corrupt. You're right. We're
I know
fighting
I'm
against
right.
it.
I don't need you guys to tell me I'm right.
But that's
I know
only
what the
thing-
fuck's
that's
going
the only
on.
thing right about it for the past 45 minutes. And I'm sorry, but you know. It's
Brett
just like the
is
United
right.
States-
Brett is right on the stance that both left and right is corrupt. But let's
They both
put
have
it
the
to
same puppet master controllers too, which you seem oblivious to.
Carney doesn't control me.
It's the same system.
You're
They
so
operate
dumb.
If you
on the
consider
same
them both
system.
corrupt, doesn't matter
come
what
on.
corruption they're involved in. We've already put them all in the corrupt category. I don't got to
Pretty
get
much.
specific. They're all shit. Every single one of them. For whatever reason, whoever controls puppet, blah, 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 blah.
and
They're
we're
all
trying
shit.
to correct that.
Trump is also a corrupt little puppet, but people don't acknowledge that.
I don't even worry about national fucking politics in Canada anymore. Alberta's separating, and we'll be doing our own thing shortly.
We aren't fuckface.
Oh yeah,
We are
Fuckface.
definitely not
You know me like
separating.
from dirt. I'm already fuckface. Never said dick
Yes.
to you, fuckface. Never said a sly thing to you, fuckface. But suddenly I start off with I'm fuckface. You're the fuckface,
you are
fuckface. You
fuckface. I
fucking
know
fuck
exactly
nose.
who
You
you are.
fuck ears. You
I
fuck
know
knob.
exactly
You fuck
who
feet.
you
You
are.
fuck toes. You
I know
fuck this,
who
that, and the
you
other.
are.
Who cares?
You are a fuckface.
Yeah, you're a
a useful
fuckface.
idiot. You're a useful idiot. And if
At
I
least
doubt
I'm
that, I'll
useful. You're just an
I'll
idiot,
go,
bud.
I'll go ask Chef and ABD, and you're
Yeah,
a useful
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a
They don't
useful
know me
idiot,
either. They
and
all know me from the internet.
No,
you know
we
me so
aren't
well from the
separating.
internet. You fuckers are so dumb. Meet
No,
somebody
you're
on the
dumb.
internet and you know them. I bet you got lots of
yes.
girlfriends too, you dumbass.
No, I have
Hey,
a
I just want to
fiance.
We're all on
express
the
my
internet.
appreciation
I have
for
a fiance. I'm very happy.
Fiance.
So,
And they're all men.
Holy mackerel.
I'd
So,
like to express
yeah,
my
but no,
appreciation for
You'd have
women
been married for
donating all
over
this
30
money to the
years. Who
great-
gives a
We're
flying
not
fuck? You won't make it
American
30
Canada.
years. You're too big of a dick.
We're
You're
not
not going to make a
separating
30-year
you
marriage
fucking
like
schmuck.
I already have,
We're
loser.
not separating, you fucking schmuck.
Fuck, she's gonna leave you. You're not gonna separate. She's gonna leave you in the night, you dumb fuck.
Wow. We're not separating, you fucking schmuck.
Just stay away from
Alberta free. Hey, where's my Alberta song?
We're not separating. You fucking moron sheeple have been fed nothing but fairy tales, lollipop, pipe dreams. You've been fed bullshit propaganda
before
by
all
idiots
of your
like Jeff
gracious
Rath.
donated money to the great
Jeff
country of
Rath
Canada.
is an American fucking agent. He's a U.S. citizen. He was part of the Marines. Jeff Rath is fucking an American agent. Okay.
So
if I had it my way, Jeff Rath would hang for treason. I want to go put a rope around his neck myself. All right. You fucking separatist schmucks have been completely sold lollipop fairy tale pipe dreams by fucking foreigners like Jeff Rath. Christina fucking Leach, another fucking, she was never about Canadian patriotism. All she wanted was to split up the country. Tamara Leach, that's all she wanted to do, split up the country. Before there was ever any fucking freedom movement, that's what she wanted to do. You idiots are helping the U.S., the United States of Israel. That's what you're helping.
Tommy, if Alberta were to become a part of the United States, I would invite you. I would invite you down.
Like overtaxation. We don't like where Canada is going. We don't like all that wokeness of the federal government. We're sick and tired of it.
Tommy, if Alberta becomes a part of the United States, I welcome you to come down here to Florida. We'll go out on the Gulf. We'll have a grand old fucking time. While the loser Brett decides that he can't come into the United States because of his criminal record, and
nobody wants to go to your shithole country. You have a shithole fucking country of fascists. I don't want to go there. Why would I ever want to go there? Not only do I not want to go there, I definitely
if everybody plugs in their EV cars all at the same time, the grid will just fall apart.
People. If an American fucking soldier comes across that border, I'm shooting them.
That's the truth. Dimebag, you were speaking absolute 100% fucking truth.
If everybody needs a bus at the same time, we're absolutely fucked. If everybody farts at the same time, we're likely to die. If everybody does something all at once, it will always be a fucking catastrophic something. Whatever that thing is. No one will ever get everyone to do one thing all at once. We don't do that. We're humans, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, clearly, most humans are fucking morons. Okay, especially the ones that vote for liberals or conservatives. Especially these separate twats.
Alberta freedom.
Yeah, well, hold your breath until October. We'll get our kick at the cat. If we're idiots, we're idiots. But that doesn't mean we're not going to try. No matter what you say, Big Bretola.
You sound good.
I think that Brett's problem.
We got shit to do.
Excellent. I like
External voices are irrelevant. Problem, Tommy. I figured it out. He must have been beat as a child.
Oh, multiple times.
Yeah, and dropped on his head a couple.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't.
You can try and insult me and attack me. But you can't dispute the fact that the liberals and the conservatives are both ran by the same puppet master controllers. So you want to call me a loser? You want to say that I was dropped on my head as a kid?
It doesn't matter.
When I make the point that the liberals and conservatives are both controlled by the same people, what do? You attack my character. You don't dispute me or say that I'm wrong.
I came in here, you attacked my character. You didn't even know me, you attacked my character.
I know exactly who you are, you dumb fuck. You hang around with Jeff and ABD. I've been watching you for months and months and months. I know exactly who you are.
Thanks for the watch time, shithead.
And I know your whole
ever since he's come
crap,
in here, he has degraded me and defiled me.
You're a useful idiot.
Well,
ever since you came in here, Brett, you attacked me. So
I hate your guts. I don't want to just attack you with my words. I want to fucking physically hurt you. Okay. I'm glad we're clear on that.
Here. I'll give you my address. I'll tell you what,
Brett.
I'm glad we're clear on that. Let me just say, if you want
come
respect,
across the border,
you dumb schmuck, if you want respect, you have to give it. And you don't give any respect. That's why I don't give it back to you.
Anyway,
Whoa, Phoenix Tide. Thanks a lot for that super chat.
Oh no, I got solutions. Just these morons don't want to hear solutions.
Here's the solution. If you hate my guts so bad, come on down here to Florida. Oh, that's right.
Not
you
allowed
can't
in
get
your
across
shithole
the
country.
border.
Not allowed in your shithole country.
And you can attempt to do harm
I'm not
to me.
allowed in your shithole country. Are you deaf or dumb?
Why would that be?
I'm not allowed in your shithole country.
Because you have a criminal record.
This guy's about as fucking bright as a burnt out light bulb, I swear.
True. You're right.
Because of your criminal record, you're not allowed in my country.
I'm not allowed in your shithole country.
That's the reason.
That's the reason. Admit it.
Everybody knows I have a criminal record. Everybody knows I'm not allowed in the U.S. Everybody knows not only am I not allowed in the U.S., I don't want to go to your shithole country. Only idiots like you think that everybody loves the U.S. Only idiots like you think everybody wants to go to the U.S. The majority of the world hates the U.S., wants nothing to do with the U.S., wants the U.S. out of their fucking country, out of their fucking politics, not try to dictate to them that you can't have this leader because XYZ.
Right.
We need to install this puppet leader. That's why the Shah got installed in Iran back in fucking the 50s, because the U.S. overthrew their democratically elected government. So if you want to know who's been creating a war in Iran since the 1950s, that would be the U.S. and Israel. That's who's trying to create a war with Iran, especially Israel, for like decades and decades and decades. Now you fucking brainwashed fuck, you think you're the good guys. The whole entire rest of the planet knows you are the war criminals. You're the motherfuckers that bomb kids in schools. You're the motherfuckers that create little groups like Al-Qaeda. The U.S. is on record on more than one occasion saying they're entirely responsible for Al-Qaeda. Funding, arming, training, all of it. You invented Al-Qaeda, you fund Al-Qaeda, you back Al-Qaeda, you train them, you fucking arm Al-Qaeda. The U.S. is Al-Qaeda. Israel is ISIS. They treat ISIS wounded. They fucking arm ISIS. They fucking give air support to fucking ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Like, you have this fucked up fucking thing in your head where you think you're some good guys fighting Muslim terrorists. Little do you know that the U.S. and Israel literally create Al-Qaeda. They create ISIS to terrorize the people out of the area that the Greater Israel Project is going to be and use them as an excuse to invade places like Syria.
It's Al-Qaeda.
You install your little Al-Qaeda and ISIS fucking mercenaries, because that's what they are. Al-Qaeda and ISIS are mercenaries. And
why
you
would you call it Al-Qaeda? It was Al-Qaeda.
You install them, and
that
then
shows
are like,
you how
oh,
smart
look,
you really are.
It's like, oh, look, you have terrorists. We have to invade and bomb you now. You are the boogeyman, and you're not bright enough to get it. Like, you're still sitting there thinking you're the good guys fighting against Muslim terrorists. You have no clue to the bigger pictures, the bigger storylines at all. None.
No, I choose not to go through all the conspiracy theorists like you are, and it's Al-Qaeda,
You're
not
so fucking
Al-Qaeda.
stupid. The U.S. is on record more than once that they are responsible for Al-Qaeda. It's openly admitted to.
Why
you
do you
stupid
keep
schmuck.
calling it Al-Qaeda? It's
It is
Al-Qaeda.
openly admitted to more than once that the U.S. is responsible for Al-Qaeda. All right? Openly admitted to. It's on record. For you to sit there and be like, you're a conspiracy theorist because you don't know any fucking better, you are a useful idiot, because it is openly admitted to on record on more than one occasion that Al-Qaeda exists because of the United States.
Do you have a high school diploma?
You don't fucking get it at all. You think small.
Do you have a high school diploma?
You have a small, tiny, minuscule brain that only thinks right, left, that only believes what the propaganda
high
tells
school
you.
Education.
It is completely irrelevant when we're talking about the fact that fucking Al-Qaeda is funded, armed, trained, and exists because of the United States. Go look it up. If you don't believe
Tommy,
me,
do you have
go
a soundbite for the facts?
It's painful
Here's
the amount
the
of
fact.
fucking stupid. It's
Here's the
painfully
fact.
Banging on your
stupid.
door.
Here's the fact.
Stupid is painful.
Al-Qaeda, not Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda.
If you would have went to school, you would
Stupid
know
does
how
hurt.
to
It does.
pronounce
Polyester.
things.
Oh.
That shows you how
Hey,
stupid
guys,
you
Notice
really
how
are.
he's attacking me, and because he
It's that
can't
witching
attack my
hour.
argument
It's that witching
because he
hour
doesn't
where we
know
have to,
that the
close down
U.S.
the
funds,
show
arms,
here.
and trains
Just kick me
Al-Qaeda.
last.
So,
See, he has to
just
attack
remember,
me because he can't attack my argument. So
You have
go shove
attacked
it up
me
your ass,
since
Penn
you
City.
came
I'll
in
rip
here.
your fucking tongue out, you motherfucker.
You have attacked me since you came in there. Good night, Tommy.
Okay, Brett,
Oh, good
we're going to
riddance,
have
you
to
dumb
close
fuck.
it down
Beat
here
it.
because it's 3 o'clock. Brett, it's 3 o'clock. I'm going to have to...
You could have left any
go to
time,
sleep.
Brett. Good riddance.
But,
Yeah, he
I'll
could
try
have.
and do more
Fancy to
panels.
say.
I love these
No, I
panels here.
needed
love
to. No,
those.
no, no. Somebody
guys.
needed to come give you idiots some pushback. I heard you sitting
Well,
here
that's
in your
okay.
little propaganda echo chamber, just the liberals, the left, they're bringing in the people so they can get voters.
Well, we like to hear
I
both
hear
sides,
you
you know.
idiots talk, and it's like, no, they need pushback because they're like too stupid for words and like to live.
Well,
like
this is better.
You
Answer this
represented well,
question.
brother. Thanks for coming up.
80 or
Answer this
637.
question, Brett, please.
it's painful the amount of fucking stupid.
Answer this question.
That was why I had to come up because there was too much fucking stupid.
Thank
if
God.
you will, answer this
Getting
question.
one point of view is no good.
Answer this question, if you will.
Exactly. One point of view is no good.
Okay,
That's
one
why
last
these
question.
idiots had to be stopped. But
Well, there
they're
you
all-
were.
Answer it.
The liberals bring people in so that they can have people vote for them, and everything is all the fault of the liberals. Never mind the fact that Harper sold us out to China. Never mind the fact that Pierre Polyev wants to
And
still
Trudeau?
support
Well, they
Ukraine.
fucked us for the last
And
10
Mark
years.
Carney
Never mind
didn't
the
sell us
fact
out
that
to
Pierre
China at all.
Polyev, the little
Mark Carney.
Israel
No,
puppet,
no,
he's going to
not
keep
China,
supporting
Carney.
Israel.
He hasn't had
Never
any
mind
power
these
yet.
little puppets. Like,
For the last 10 years, I've been
so dumb.
feeling a liberal cock up my ass. I don't know about you, but that the last 10 years has been
No,
a liberal
I have a
dick.
brain.
I know the dick. It was red, and it belonged
I
to
have
a
a
different
brain.
kind of fucking, what do you call him? Oh, yeah,
No.
Trudeau.
I
A
have
different
a
kind
brain.
of Trudeau.
I have
Well-
a brain, dumb fuck. I realize that it's the liberals fucking us, but also the conservatives. Unlike
Okay,
you,
maybe we
I
got
pay
fucked
attention.
before then, but I'm saying for the last 10 years, I know who's been fucking me for the last 10 years. I can
cool.
document.
Congratulations, fuckface. You've paid attention for the last 10 years.
conservatives
I've
haven't
paid
been
attention for
bothering
the
you for
last
10 years.
35.
Come on.
I watched
All
the way the
For past
deficit doubled and
35.
tripled and quadrupled.
For the
Oh,
past
I've been around way
35
longer than
years.
you watching shit, bud.
For
But
the
anyways,
past 35
Okay, well, I'm gonna
years.
go grab my megaphone and stand
For the
outside
past
of
35
Nancy's
years,
office,
I
okay?
recognize that it's both the liberals and the conservatives that are fucking us over because the liberals and the conservatives are both puppet of the globalists.
I don't
The
disagree
liberals
that they're
and the
all
conservatives,
they're all
both
corrupt,
of
but
them.
you don't know who's running the show, Brett. Nobody told you,
Oh, I
bud.
definitely do.
No, you don't.
1000%. Yeah, I do. It's little lobbyist groups like Benai Britt.
Fuck, his name
Just
is
like in the
Jesus.
US.
Get to know him, bud.
In the U.S., it's lobbyist groups like AIPAC. AIPAC runs the Democrats and the Republicans.
God is not mocked.
Democrats and fucking Republicans are both controlled by AIPAC. Both of them. Like 97%.
This is my father's world.
The show's over.
97% of U.S. government takes AIPAC money. You have
Vengeance is
very
mine, saith the
popular
Lord.
people. Very popular
Don't
people.
worry,
Tucker
they'll pay.
Carlson.
No one's
Dave
getting away
Smith.
with anything.
Tons of them are now recognizing that it doesn't matter Republican or Democrat. They're controlled by the same people, and it's groups like AIPAC. Canada has the same problem. We have the exact same problem here. It doesn't matter liberal or conservative. They're both controlled by the same behind-the-scenes people. For some reason, you idiots can't figure it out, but I'm dumb because I've been paying attention
Okay,
for
Brett.
multiple decades and know that both are corrupt.
The show is over. The show's over.
The mass has ended. Now go in peace.
Bye-bye, everyone.
We
Thanks a lot
must
for being part of the
diminish.
panel.
It's not finished
We'll
yet.
see you guys
You lied.
Fucking knuckle
tomorrow.
dragging idiots.
Another day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Love it.
Completely not
Thanks for,
smart
being
enough
on the
to
panel. I'm
understand
back.
the
Nice meeting you.
nuance, the bigger pictures.
You're a
You
pro.
don't get it. You're just useful idiots.
Take a breath. Take a pill. Chill
Go
out.
fuck yourself.
You're the only guy who couldn't possibly be deceived. If there's a deception, you're in it too, Brett. If there's a deception, they want you to think the way you're thinking right now, and you're just playing your part in the big machine, buddy.
No.
Enjoy your part.
You're so dumb.
I know.
No, they don't want people to think like me that know.
No, you
the
have your
fucking
place.
Red and blue are
They know.
both
They know
controlled
you
by the
exist.
Israel
You have your
lobby.
place. You've
They
been
don't
worked into
want
the
people
program.
to fucking think like me.
You're
don't want.
You're
There's
not
a
relevant.
reason
What will
I'm
you
canceling you
do,
idiots aren't.
Brett? What will you do from there?
Fucking painful. You're
There's
stupid.
nothing you can do, and you're irrelevant.
Oh,
you have an
no.
opinion.
There are
You can
things
have
that
your
I do.
opinion.
I
Okay.
am relevant, much more relevant than you, actually. People fucking tune in to listen to my political fucking ideas. Way
I
before
don't do
yours.
political shit
You
on
go
my show.
sing.
I just visit Tommy.
Go sing. Go
I
sing.
do. I'm a great singer.
Yeah. Well, that's to be debated, but go sing. Go sing for your little chef in ABD. Be a useful puppet idiot of the globalists with your
Okay,
separatist
listen.
bullshit.
So long as you don't sing, we got a deal.
I sing much better than you, but
Oh, no,
go,
you don't.
Go with your little globalist fucking shit.
Not in a million.
Go
Not in a
help
million years.
Go help
There's a
the
million.
establishment.
There's a million things you might be better than me
Go
at. The singing
help
is
the
never going to be
establishment.
one of those things, Brett.
I'm sorry that you don't know any better, but literally the internet knows that I can sing actually really well. So you don't know me. You don't know
I don't
me.
know
You're
how
new.
you deal
All
with this
you
shit,
know
Tommy.
about me is what
I'd
you
have
are
kicked
told
this
by little
motherfucker off
fucking
my panel in 5
user
minutes.
idiots like Chef and ABD. That's all
What makes you
know
think
of
we
me
talk about
is
you
what
when
you're
we're?
told.
We talk about him.
That's all you know.
I don't even
is
know
what
him.
you're
All
told.
right. No,
You
because
don't
you're
know me at
irrelevant.
all.
In between,
You
No,
know
and I never
nothing
will
about
because
me.
your relevancy to me is
Mad,
zero.
but
You know
drama
nothing.
flows,
Exactly. Your relevancy to
flows
me is
downhill
zero.
all
So
night
that's-
long.
So
Carry the fuck
when
on.
you say what I just said,
Carry
it's
on.
not really cool.
Okay, I'm
Makes you
ending
look like an idiot.
the stream. Good night, everyone. Take care. Stay out of trouble.
sure
I'm
you
moving
are.
you all out of here. That's it for the show. Thanks a lot for being on here.
Tommy, I don't.
Bye-bye. I can still hear you, even though you're in the back room. You don't know how the fuck I put up with Brett. I know what you mean. It's the way it is. Okay, everyone. This is the last word here.
Live long and prosper.
We'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Remember, Alberta for independence.